In the first 60 days after I bring Connie into this business, every time she orders something, I make 20% of her LRP order. So if she has a $200 order, I make $40. That happens for 60 days, and it happens every time I bring someone in this business. So every time Connie orders for 60 days, June orders, Mandy orders, I make 20% of that. That's called your fast start. Doesn't matter where they are in the business, all the way down. If I brought them in, then I get 20%. After the fast start, what happens then is the unilevel bonus. So again, here's myself. Here's June, Connie, and Mandy. Now after 60 days, when they have gone out of the fast start period, it's going to turn to unilevel. And what that is going to be is on the first row here. Well, let's put some of their other people in, okay? So after I have my 3, June's going to have her 3. Maybe Connie's got 2 here. Mandy has 1. Now, one thing that's beautiful about this program is that I'm going to still keep bringing people in the business, and I only want 3 people on my front line. So what I'm going to do now is when I bring someone in, I'm going to put them down here under Mandy, or I'm going to put them down here under Connie, and I'm going to help these girls fill in their front line. Then once they have their first 3 in their front line, and they're filled in and they have strong builders here, then what's going to happen is when June brings someone in, she's going to bring down and help these girls here, and they're going to help everybody fill in. So all the way down to the 7th level, you're helping each other fill in your teams. So you need to be responsible and go out and get your own people and enroll people, but always remember the people above you are going to help you all the way down, okay? So now we're on unilevel bonus, and this goes down 7 levels. So what happens here is on my front line, after these people here are out of the fast start, then they're going to get, or I'm going to get, I should say, a 2% bonus indefinitely on whatever they order on their PV. The next line is 3%, then 4, and I may not have this number exactly correct, but I think that it is 5, 5, 6, and 7. It may be 4, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm not sure. But anyway, that's basically how that works. You're going to have a percentage on each row all the way to the bottom. When you get down here to this 7th row, in a perfect world, if everyone is ordering exactly as they should be to the bottom, that row right there all by itself is worth about $32,000. That doesn't count all your other rows all the way up, doesn't count your fast start, doesn't count some of the other bonuses that come in, retail sales, things like that. So keep in mind that what you're trying to do here is build a really solid structure all the way down of people who are actually building a business. And we'll do another video later on building a business of builders versus building a team of shoppers. So this is unilevel. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to your 7th level. And the next thing that happens is your power of 3. So on power of 3, what happens is, let me take some of the stuff off here. When my, well, here, I'm going to draw this and make it a little cleaner so you can see it better. Again, we have myself, June, Connie, and Mandy. When myself, along with June, Connie, and Mandy, have 600 PV for the month, then what happens is I get a $50 bonus. And you may have, you know, another little shopper here or two, whatever, but basically in you and your front line, you get a $50 bonus. That's pretty exciting. I'll be excited about extra $50 bonus. That's a night out with my husband that I wasn't anticipating. So here we go again. Now we've taught our front line to go have 3 strong builders on their front line. So we have 3 builders here, all the way across in each team. Now what happens is, when this team, and this team each have 600 PV, against, you're always working in groups of 4. So you've got your top line here and your 3 front lines. So it's always groups of 4. When these teams each do 600 PV, these people on this row here on my front line, now they're getting the $50 bonus. But my bonus just became $250. So now we're starting to talk about a little bit of money that's adding up. So on your 3rd level, this is why it's power of 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go down to the 3rd level here. And again, This team has taught these people how to get their 3 builders on their front line. This goes all the way across. Now, when each one of these teams does 600 PV, and that's all the way across, now these leaders here are going to get the $50 bonus. This team here is going to get the $250 bonus apiece. And then my bonus all of a sudden becomes $1,500. That's pretty substantial. I would be real excited every month to have an extra $1,500 bonus check in my mailbox. So you can see, this is where it comes into play when you're actually building a business as opposed to shopping. You really want the people in your team to be committing to $150 a month, or I'm sorry, 150 PV. That 150 PV takes all the pressure off of all of these bonuses. So for example, let me take a little bit of this off here. If I have my 3 people here, and I'm just starting out, and this doesn't feel important to you if you're not getting that $50 bonus yet, but when you start getting your downline, that bonus is going to be very important to you. So let's just help our upline all the way up, okay? If this girl here does 150 PV, this one does 150 PV, and this one does 100, and then I've got my 150, now all of a sudden I'm 50 PV short, so I'm not going to qualify for my bonus. So I either have to add 50 PV more to my order, or somewhere in the mix, another 50 PV has to come in. So when you start your business, you need to really commit to, in your mindset, just get that in your head and wrap your mind around it. I'm committing to 150 PV every month to build this business. That's going to help you. It's going to help your upline. It's going to help your downline all the way down. This bonus is going to trickle down if everybody's doing that 150 PV. Now, that 150 PV does not have to be your money. You might, when you're starting out, go sell a few tubes of Deep Blue or a little bit of Breathe or whatever it is that you know is your product of choice. Go sell a few things, put that into your order, and then you're using someone else's money to get your 100 PV. But you need to really depend on your people in your building line. Again, you may have, a few shoppers over here, and that's going to pad you. But when you put these business people in here that are building a business, you really want them committing to 150 PV. And that makes every circle of 4, here we go here, makes this circle of 4. Everybody's doing 150 PV everywhere all the way around. There is no drama and no stress about trying to earn these bonuses or trying to figure out what's going on, or having to have your upline going in at the end of the month and looking to see who hasn't ordered and trying to encourage those orders. So just wrap your mind around that, and in the beginning, just kind of commit to, I'm spending 150 PV a month to build my business, and this is my business expense. Then it takes a lot of drama and pressure off everyone. So that's your power of 3. Then some other bonuses come in. They don't apply until you get a little higher. When you reach, I think, silver, when you reach silver, every time someone comes in as elite, then that you sponsored personally, then that's another $150 bonus. There's some bonus pools and things like that. But frankly, I don't know what those are until they apply to me. Some of those apply to me now, some of them don't, but we won't go into that. This is just your 3 basic ways here that you're going to earn money on your doTERRA business. So, tip of the day is commit to the 150 PV. Get 3 people on your front line that are committed to building a business, that are not shoppers, but just committed to building a business, and then work that all the way down. We'll be doing some other videos on what it looks like building a team with the shoppers versus builders, some things about rolling a line of elites on down, all the way down to the bottom, just to build your team in elites, and some other things. But for today, let's just learn this and get this in our head and study and practice this until you really know not only what it means, but how to present it to other people. Thanks, you guys, and have a really fun day today.
Country Blues.
Doing it week after week after week. We're gonna do it, okay? So we're gonna start with, I hope this marker will hold out.
I have one if it doesn't.
Okay, good for you, June.
And if
All
it wasn't
right.
recording, I would do this, but
So, this is me. I'm just gonna use my girls. This is Connie, Mandy, June. This is gonna be your fast start bonus. Connie, Mandy, and June are gonna have their 3 front line as well, okay? Because I have trained them how to go out and get their 3 front line. So, what happens is, when I bring Connie into this business, I get 20% of everything that she orders for the first 60 days, okay? When Connie brings in Vicky, Connie gets 20% of everything that Vicky orders for the first 60 days, and then I get 10%. And then, well, Connie gets 20, I get 10, Rena's up here and she gets 5, okay? So it goes up 3 levels, it's just 3 levels. 20, 10, 5, every time. No matter where you enroll somebody or where you put them at, you always get 20, 10, and 5% of that, okay? For 60 days. That is your fast start. Once that fast start is over, oh my word, what am I gonna use for an eraser?
I got an eraser too.
Yay, June! This is my detail sheet here. Mandy's so happy that she's been replaced as my right arm. Because I depend on Mandy for everything. Okay, so that is fast start, okay? And that's gonna go down, 3 levels, okay? Now what happens after fast start is unilevel. Unilevel goes all the way down 7 levels, okay? So once these girls here go out of their fast start, then I start getting a percentage of what they order every month. So the first one is 2%, on the next level 3%, on the next level is 5, then 5, 6, 6, and 7. So all the way down, you get paid on the people under your front line, okay? So this is every person all the way. This 7th line right here, at 150 PV a month, all the way across, is worth about $32,000 a month. That is a ton of money. A ton of money.
Did you say that's based on 100?
That's 150, on 150 PV, okay? So that is your unilevel bonus. As soon as somebody's out of fast start, you automatically start making unilevel bonus, okay? Now the great thing about this is, I've already got my 3 girls right here. So, what am I gonna do when I enroll somebody else? Come on in, Greg. I am going to say, she's got 1 girl, she's got 2 girls, she's got another girl. When I enroll, I'm gonna bring somebody and put them down here and help them fill in. Then the next time around, I'm gonna bring somebody right here and fill them in. So you're gonna fill in your next row with all the people that you enrolled, okay? When that second line is completely filled in, then you're gonna move on down here and you're gonna bring your people that you enroll down here to your next line. However, by then, these girls have their front line filled up. So they are gonna bring their people down here.
Okay, I understand where you say you bring them down there, but how do you enroll them down there? Like,
You
They're
have an
sponsors.
enroller ID.
uh-huh.
Okay, like if, for example, when I enrolled you, I put you under Connie.
Right.
Okay, so I am your enroller.
Okay,
Connie is your sponsor.
okay,
I get the 20% on you in your first 60 days.
okay.
And Connie got nothing for the first 60 days.
Okay.
I got
Then-
it, Angela.
She did, and that was awesome.
But forever you will be.
Then forevermore, she's gonna get the unilevel bonus off you, okay?
Okay.
So you can
Which
put them
really
in
adds up.
a lot.
I just
To a
learned
lot.
something. Way to go, Lisa. I just learned something. Way to
Yes,
go.
isn't
What
it?
did you learn? Come on in, Lynn.
Well, when you were talking about the fast start the other day and the unilevel, I did not make any connections. I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all, but now it does.
So today it makes sense.
Now it does.
This is why we're gonna do this every single week until it makes sense for everybody.
I've
Because
been
at
in
some
almost
point,
2 years and I still learn stuff.
you have to know this so you can teach it to the people under you. You can talk to people all day long, but if they wanna come in for the business and they don't know how they're gonna make money, that's a problem. So everybody needs to understand this, okay? Let's go back to fast start. Does everybody understand fast start? We can just take our time.
I got one more question. This is going down 7 levels, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Never mind, got it. Just answer my question. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Everybody understands fast start?
Could you go over it one more time?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm slow.
No. Listen, somebody on this team confessed to me this week that they don't want to seem stupid, so they pretend like they know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna mention Robert's name. So, if you do not know what I'm talking about, please, really, now is the time to ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but it's stupid to leave here and not know what we're talking about,
Because
okay?
it just needs to be put in different terms for different people.
Now, hold on now, in my defense, I told her I'd do that on the phone.
He did say on the phone. He did say on the phone. That way I can't look at him and see his
Right.
line.
All right.
Okay, fast start is, June, can you start getting that marker ready?
Yeah,
but it's gonna
be red because I'm black because
Okay, red's fine, I think if it'll show up, we'll see. I'm gonna make this one last as long as I can. This is brand new too, I don't know why it's doing this.
or blue.
It's, blue might be better. Okay, we're just gonna do one row of people here, okay? So that's all the way across.
Has anybody done the math on how many people's in
Yes, it's in
7-Eleven?
my phone. It is in my phone. It's not near as many as you would think it is.
Actually, it's more than I think you think it is,
It's,
isn't it?
but it's not. We'll talk afterwards, okay? Okay, I bring Connie in, and when Connie came in, it was a very exciting day for me, and her too, huh?
Yeah.
We were super excited.
She had a massage.
So, that's right, she had her massage, we were all excited. So, I got paid 20% on Connie's kit that she came in with, okay? So I got 20, let me
And
erase
that's
that,
paid
that's,
weekly.
that's deceiving. I got 20, what?
And it's paid weekly.
Yes, you get paid fast start every week. Every week is your fast start check. So up here is Rena. Rena got 10, and then Sana's up there, and Sana got 5. Okay? So on my, everybody, anywhere I put them, no matter where I put them, any place, if I bring them into this business, I get 20%, Rena gets 10, Sana gets 5. Okay? Is there any questions on that? Everybody
Yes,
understands
is
that
there
part?
somehow,
For the first 60 days.
I have a question.
Mhm.
In regards to that, is that your sponsor that gets that,
Your
the 10
enroller
and then the
gets,
5?
no, this is my enroller.
Okay.
Brenda's my
So
enroller,
your
Sana
enroller
is
and their
hers,
enroller,
right, so,
not their sponsors?
right,
Okay.
right, so whoever brings you in, then whoever, okay, so, say Connie brought Vicky in, Connie gets 20 off Vicky, I get 10 off Vicky, Brenda gets 5 off Vicky. But who did I put Angela under Connie, Connie gets nothing off Angela. I get 20 off Angela, Rena gets 10, Sana gets 5, okay? So it's all about whoever you're bringing into the business. Whoever you bring in, whoever brought you in is who's gonna get paid on you, okay?
But I want everybody to understand that when you put Angela in there, it was, I mean, it's a gift, you're being blessed that you've got somebody in there, but it's also the way the company was structured. It's the way we're supposed, you know, it's.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's not like, I'm not doing Connie any favors, this is, I mean, I am doing Connie favors, but this is the way the business works. Okay, so we're all helping each other all the way down. So now, I mean, Connie, Mandy, and June have all got a pretty good, so I mean, June's team's getting way down there. So they've all got their front line going, so now as they bring people in, they're gonna start filling their second lines. Okay, so when Connie brings someone in, she'll be filling you in. When I bring people in, I'll be filling in all these second lines. I need my second line to be completely filled in, okay? Then, when the second line is completely filled in, I'll start moving people down to the third line, and then I'll just start filling the third line, but they will be filling the third line as well.
Okay, so I guess my confusion, which it might not matter at all, is like, what if I have like a person that wants to sign up but like doesn't want to build?
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay, so that's like.
It's completely different. Has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
But we will talk. You're gonna
But
get
if I
paid exactly
still-
the same way on them,
But I'm
yes.
still gonna sign them up like
Yes,
this.
right.
Okay.
Everybody comes into the business the same way,
Okay.
whether they're coming in to shop, whether they're coming in to share, or whether they're gonna come in to build.
Okay.
Everybody comes in with the $35, and then you do the 20, 10, 5% on them, okay? And the reason for that is because statistics show that people are in this business 6 to 8 months, well, shoppers, 6 to 8 months before they actually start doing the business. And by that time, they've shared oil, people are asking them about it, they've sold a few things, so then their business starts growing. So it just makes sense for everybody to come in the same way. Then they're ready to roll. When they're ready to do business, they're just ready to roll. Okay, you don't have to do anything different, they just start sharing more and doing classes, okay? Any other questions on Fast Start?
The circles that you're showing are all builders though. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, yes, what I am referring to, yes, but it's all the same. It doesn't matter if these people are shoppers or builders, you're still gonna get paid the same. The structure is the same.
But you wouldn't be placing them in the
No, I
same
would,
places.
no, but we're gonna talk about that when we talk about actually building your team. But in terms of payment and in terms of Fast Start, this is exactly what it looks like, okay? So then the next one, which I guess could have left that, is gonna be unilevel. And so that is where you're gonna get the 2%, 3%, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7. This check gets paid once a month after the 15th, okay? So, I get 2% on this line, 3% on this line, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, and then that 7th line completely filled in is the one that's worth $32,000. That doesn't include all these other lines. And that's assuming a perfect world where everybody is doing their 150 PV and everybody is a builder and you have not built your team on shoppers. And so we're gonna talk about that, okay?
When you say everybody's doing their 150 PV, you mean each
Each person, right,
per month?
right.
Okay.
Because your next bonus is your power of 3. Now, there's been a lot of confusion over this, and I have to be frank with you guys, it took me a while to really figure this out and wrap my mind around how this worked. What happened was, honestly, our team grew really super fast, and so Rhonda was running to stay ahead of me, I was running to stay ahead of you guys, and we were all pretty much learning at the same time, because a lot of these people came in pretty much my first day, okay? So, when you tell somebody that they can come into the business for $100 a month, that's what they need to get a check. That is going to be for someone who shares oil and occasionally brings someone in, okay? We're gonna talk about what the difference is in a shopper, a sharer, and a builder. But your power of 3, when I, Connie, Amanda, and June all have 600 PV, then I get a $50 bonus, okay? Everybody understand that part?
Wait,
Me and my front line.
Okay, wait. When you and your front line get 600 PV, you get a $50 bonus.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I do have two supposed shoppers here. They don't ever actually shop, but you may have the occasional, as you're building your team and you don't really know who's a shopper and builder, you may have a shopper stuck in there, and that's okay, because they're gonna pad your 600. You're not gonna build your team on them, but you're gonna have some shoppers all the way down your team, okay? So, but when me and my front line, I guess I should say, so it doesn't not necessarily these 3 girls, but when my front line and I have 600 PV, then my bonus is $50. So that is where, if you are building a business, your 150 PV means everything. Because if everybody here just says, you know what, I'm gonna build a business, it's gonna cost me $150 a month, and that's what I'm gonna do, then there's no drama trying to go sell Deep Blue and Breathe and a couple toothpaste to make this 600 PV. Now that doesn't matter to these girls here. They don't care if I get my $50 bonus. They couldn't care less. But when they need their $50 bonus, they're gonna care a lot. So where this comes into play is everybody needs to be helping, not just their downline, help your upline. Everybody help everybody, all the way, okay? Because the next bonus is, when Connie and her 3, Amanda and her 3, and June and her 3 do their 600, then they get the $50 bonus. But now I get a $250 bonus
Instead of the 50.
instead of the 50. Now I get $250, okay?
Can I ask a question before you get too much farther? Okay, does it have to be absolutely those 4 people? You-
It has to be your front line.
it has
you
to
and
be-
your front
They
line.
have to be in that position?
Right,
Correct?
right.
Okay.
It is you and whoever you have right here. This is theoretically, and we're gonna really talk more about this tonight and how this plays out. I've learned, guys, the page has turned in the last 2 weeks, okay? We've learned a lot. You laugh, but it's so true.
And her stomach hurts.
And my stomach hurts all the time because I'm so excited. It's so true. This is really your team, okay? That's your team right there. So this is who you're focusing on. So this is the PV we're talking about. When we start talking about mentoring a little bit, that's what the mentoring is about. Everything is about you and your front line. So my first word of advice to you is pick somebody you love to work with. Because you don't want somebody on here that you can't get along with, okay? So when I started building my team, I literally had a long list of people. I want to work with people that are hard workers, they're ethical, they get along with other people, they're energetic, outgoing, and committed. I don't want to work with a bunch of drama queens. I don't want to work with liars. I don't want to work with lazy people. Now, if those people came to me and they want to sign up, I can't tell them no. I mean, I'm sure that's the law. I have to sign them up. It doesn't mean I want to work with them real
Sign up with
close.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
they're gonna, so, which sometimes may be a better thing. I wouldn't be opposed to that with some people. But I knew who I wanted to work with. Did I call every one of those people in the first week and say, hey, I want to tell you about this business? No. I held classes, I called them, I said, hey, let's talk about oil. This is super exciting. Let's check this thing out. So a few at a time, actually a lot at a time came first. And then, It was a very crazy day, but just be a little bit, discerning. Try and figure out, this is not about, it's going to happen for you, okay? It is going to happen for every person in this room. If you commit to doing this, it's going to happen to you. So be discerning. Take your time. Pick people you want to work with. Don't just sign up people for the sake of signing up people, because you're going to live with that for a long, long time. So be careful about this, okay? I love all of these girls. I could work with them for the next 100 years, and life is going to be good for me, okay? They need to love their front line, and then life is going to be good for them. So be careful about who you choose. So back to this, I know I can call all 3 of my girls and say, hey, look, guys, you don't have 600 here. We need to be doing something. You don't have 600 here. You need to be doing something. That's not me being greedy or selfish. That's me trying to build a business, and they know that because they're one step behind that, okay? So when they get theirs, they're going to get the $50 bonus, and I'm going to get the $250. Now, these girls, again, everybody's gone out again and done the exact same thing. Everybody's got 3 people they love that they're working with. So when this team and this team and this team all do 600, and that's all the way across for all these teams, then these girls right here get, and it's men too. I'm not a sexist, but I always say girls. When these 3 girls get their teams, they're all going to get $50 bonus, okay? Now what's going to happen is these girls are going to get their $250 bonus, and ta-da, I now get a $1,500 bonus, and that's pretty huge, okay? I'm going to be flipping my lid when that thing comes in my mailbox.
That's over and above all the
And
other.
this is
every
strictly
single
your
month.
Power of 3 bonus, and that's every month. Unilevel is every month, Fast Start is every week, okay?
I got it.
So, and once you hit that, you should be, if you've built your team right and you're consistent and you're building with builders, you're gonna be able to maintain that, okay? So now we're talking about quite a bit of money here, okay? Because like my Fast Start check last week was how much I tell
Wow.
you? $776.
Yeah.
Well, what was yours? 1,200 or something?
Well, no, my Fast Start was only about 300, but my Unilevel was $800. And that's before any of you guys hit you guys are just now hitting your 60 days.
Oh, that's true. So, wow,
So that
think about
does
what's
not
gonna be next month.
So am I
Whoa,
excited?
yeah, you are excited. You're gonna have a big check next week, or next month. So does that make sense? This is why this 150 comes into play in terms of your business, okay? Now, here's the thing. You've all heard this. Anybody in this room that has enrolled somebody has heard this. What's the minimum that I have to spend to do this thing?
That's what I asked whenever I started.
We all did. Okay, now let's flip that. Okay, you're building a business here. This isn't a hobby. I spend more than $100 a month on scrapbooking every month. Not anymore, I'm a little more poor than that. For many years I did, okay? So, what if you said, what's the most I can put into my business every month? Where can I cut money back in my monthly budget and I really invest in my business? What if I get the DVDs that I need? What if I get the class in the box? What if I get the Modern Essentials and I have those ready for people? What if I have a lot of Deep Blue on hand or Breathe on hand so people can buy that right off the shelf? Then what would happen? What would happen if it was time for a convention and you already had your money put back to go to convention or to your trainings or to Elite Retreat? You're building a business. So most of you in here know, some of you don't. When I had my last brick, I had a lot of businesses. Most of them have been successful. Some of them have been major failures. But my last business was a brick and mortar store down here in town, huge bridal shop. And you can relate to this, I know. My bills every month were $2,500 to $3,000 a month. That's a ton of money. That would kept the door open. It didn't pay me, didn't pay anybody in the room. That just strictly kept the lights on and the doors open. So I had to do $6,000 plus retail a month. Now when I look at something like this and I go, wow, I have an opportunity for unlimited income for the rest of my life for $150 a month or $200 a month or $300 a month, I'm going to be all over this. Because I do not have to kill myself. I can set my own schedule. I don't have to go to my shop and work 60, 70, 80 hours a week and work 7 days a week and never get paid for that.
You do the same thing over and over.
Yep. This is an amazing opportunity. It's amazing. So turn that thing around. Don't sit and think every week. And that's how this 150 can come into play really fast. Don't go put your order in and think, oh geez, can I get like 101 PV in this cart? Think, geez, this month can I get 200 PV in this cart? Do the best you can to load that thing up, okay? That helps you grow your business, helps your upline. You're training the people underneath you to do the same thing, so then you're getting paid on what they're doing. If you teach all these people underneath you to go and put 101 PV in their cart, you're gonna have a little tiny check. You teach these people to put 200 or 300 PV in their cart, you're gonna have a much bigger check, at least twice as big.
How do I teach them that?
Just like I'm teaching it to you right now.
Okay.
So when you sit down with somebody, Lynn, did you get those papers done
Bring
for
it
us?
to training.
I got one of them done due to campaign stuff being
Okay,
absolutely
all right.
insane
I'm
this
just
week.
gonna we're gonna pass this around and let people kind of look at this.
I wanted to make sure
God
that we're
love
okay
her.
with it before I print
Yes.
off a bunch.
This is amazing. This is kind of a little thing. Wow, this really looks good, Lynn. Good job.
Do what?
Get it fit in December. No.
This is what you're gonna use with all your people, okay, when you sit down with them. They're gonna check off, what are they really committed to, like, what are they, yeah, how, tell me my team doesn't rock, girlfriend. They're all on it. This is gonna tell you exactly where they really are at, okay? If they make no order in a month, we're gonna go talk about LRP again, because I know you need to know it, some in here need to know it. But this is gonna talk about their LRP, it's gonna talk about the business. What are they really committing to? Okay, so if you've got this and they sit down and they go, well, I could do 100 PV and I can get a check. Or if they go, wow, I can do 150 PV and I'm gonna really start earning some big checks and making some money, you know where they are, they know where they are, and everybody's on the same page. So you don't leave their house thinking, wow, I just signed a builder, and they're sitting at their house thinking, oh God, I hope I can afford $50 next month, okay? So everybody's clear on what's happening here. They're gonna actually sign this for you. This is subject to change. They might be a shopper in the beginning and they might want to become a builder later, but you'll all have a copy of this next week at the meeting, and everybody can use this with your people that you sign up, okay? So this is gonna be, I think, a really great tool for us. It's going to, just like you talked about, it's gonna weed everybody out and sort them so we know where everybody's at. And there is a place for everybody. There's a place for shoppers, there's a place for sharers, and there's a place for builders. We just gotta put them in their place, okay? So, thank you, Lynn, that's awesome. Looks so much better than I actually expected it to be. Not that I didn't think you'd do something awesome, but that's super
I was
awesome.
gonna say, I think that's a
Lisa.
compliment.
When you were doing you're the top circle there with the L in it, correct?
Mhm.
And then you drop down, of course you got Connie, you got Amanda, and you got June,
Mhm.
right? And then you got a dash circle going there, and you said, well, they're just buyers.
These are two shoppers
Or
that are
shop.
on one of them got placed by someone else. I had nothing to do with her, and I've never met her, never spoken to her, and she's never spent a dime, okay? She was just somebody who came in and got stuck there. This is someone else who originally wanted to be a builder. She was the first person I enrolled. Her husband shut that thing down until their daughter's older, and that's okay. It's just not the right time for her. She's super excited. She's online all the time, learning about oil. When her time is here, she'll be ready to roll. But that's gonna be a few years. So she just kind of sits there, and then when she wants something, she just buys something, okay? She did come in with a kit, so she has her discount, so she just kind of sits there. So when she orders something, then that goes into my volume for 600, but do I count on that for my 600? No.
Let me ask you this then. You signed her,
Mm-hmm.
you're her sponsor and you're her enroller,
Right.
correct?
Mhm.
Now, and the reason I think you know why I'm getting to this, because you said you set up your front line. Obviously I didn't have 7 or 8 people coming in the door right out of the gate.
Right.
Okay, and I'm actively trying to still continue to get people. But the 2 that I signed here this last week, major concerns, how long, see, I don't even know how I'm trying to ask
Okay,
this.
here's,
I don't want to build a,
you're not
a
going
front
to,
line
you're not
of
going to build a
shoppers,
front line,
okay.
you're not gonna build a front line under them. Unless something wild and crazy happens in the next couple weeks, and they really turn out to be go-getters, we're not gonna build a front line under either one of them.
okay,
They are going to be shoppers that are gonna sit up here.
they're just kind of float around.
Right, if you bring in a builder before their 14 days is up, you have 14 days to place somebody, okay? So every time I bring someone into the business, I just put their name right over here. And there they sit for 13 days. And then in 13 days, I can look at my team and figure out where I need somebody at, and then I can put them where they need to be. Now, you don't have a choice, they're sitting there, if nobody else comes on in the next 2 weeks, they are gonna be on your front line. Are you gonna build under them? No. They're still gonna be shoppers,
I got it, I
Okay.
just see it now.
unless something
I
crazy
see it.
happens.
Because I can keep signing people, putting them under me, and then when I get a team, a
Right.
solid team there, I can start building
Right.
under them and let these
Right.
people shop. I got it, I
Exactly.
got it.
Okay,
They're just
so,
gonna
Because see, the way I thought it was before, I was committed, and I was like,
no,
bless my luck, great. I got
No,
Laurel.
that-
I have a question,
Uh-huh.
and you just erased them, but the 300 me, 300 me, and 300 June, all 9 of those people have to do theirs for you to get your 250.
right, Right?
Yeah.
So your first goal that all of you are doing, your very first goal, is that everyone is trying to get 600 PV with their front line. Which is why you need to know straight up front, and I did not do this in the beginning because I didn't know this in the beginning, nobody taught it to me. I'm teaching it to you. Ask them, is this business worth 150 PV a month for you to stay in this business and build a team? Like, are you willing to commit 150 PV? You're talking to business people. If you're talking to people that want to build a business, don't be bashful about this, guys. I mean, you don't want to nag somebody. You don't want to hound them. You don't want to call them 10 times if they've said no.
But
But
it'd
if
be better
someone
to know
tells
up
you,
front.
yeah,
Right,
if
but
somebody tells
they
you,
deserve
I
for
want to
you
build a
ask
business, then they need to know just like you were surprised when I said 150 this week, okay? They have every right to know what you are expecting from them.
Alright.
And you have every right to know what you can expect from them, okay? This is a business partnership with your front line. So we had, yes, a
It was
little,
funny. She goes, when I
Hilarious.
first come in, she goes, oh, you gotta do 100 PV a month. I said, oh, okay. Well, the very next week I meet with
no,
her.
100, first time was 100.
It was 100, and then it went to 125. And then this last week, she goes, we gotta do 150 a month. And I said, Lisa, if we go to 175 next week,
I just quit.
I'm trying to get this under control here.
In other words, everything she reads makes more sense now.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
like,
have learned.
the 150 makes sense, especially with the power of three,
Right,
and
that's
especially
where,
with
when
the
I did the
level.
math and looked at that, then it
Yes.
was very clear,
Yeah,
we
if
only
you're
need to be
pulling
committed to
out-
150,
yeah,
okay?
when you
That
got-
makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk, we weren't gonna talk about this tonight, but since y'all are on the subject, let's talk about building your team. You're gonna get your 3 people, which I have already said, you are praying, hoping, and looking for people that you are gonna love to work with. This is just like a job interview, quite frankly. I mean, if you had a shop and you were bringing people in to work for you, you would want to be working with people that you like, wouldn't you? People you could trust, people that you admired, you respected, you knew that had your back. So be careful about these people right here. Take your time. And I'm not saying sit around for 6 months. You know, you can find somebody, but don't just bring in, you know, anybody. Now, what happens that I have seen on a lot of teams, and there are some people here that are experiencing this right now, is that, I'm sorry, that wasn't obvious, was it? Sorry. Is that somebody up here just wants to build a team and they don't care who comes in. They're just like, let me just get people. Just bring me people, bring me people, bring me people. I just want to sign up all these people. And so they build a whole team, hundreds, maybe thousands of people. And who knows in the world who's a shopper and who's a builder, who's a sharer. Nobody knows who any of these people are. They're just people that came in, okay? Nobody's really mentoring them too much. Nobody's training them. Some of them aren't getting trained at all. Nobody knows what's going on. We're just bringing people in. Let's just bring people in so I can be elite. I can be premier. I can be gold. I can be this. I can be that. And they never know what their check is going to be. Their check down here on that 7th level is $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 instead of $35,000 or $32,000. And it is a game of numbers every month. Nobody knows what's happening. Nobody knows who's building a team here. So what happens is you get Susie Q down here. She comes on board and she's like, heck yeah, I want to do this thing. I'm going to build me a business. Well, you got a shopper here, a shopper here, a shopper here, and this girl's just too busy. So then what happens? You got major breakdown all the way down here. Susie Q could bring you in thousands of dollars a month, but she can't do anything because there's nobody there to even help her. She doesn't even know what's going on. It's just a wild and crazy game, okay? So be very careful. Here's what you got. You got shoppers. You have sharers. And you have builders. Your shopper is someone like my 2 girls up here. They might buy something once a month or they might buy something once a year. I don't know what they're gonna do. I have no idea till I look in my back office, and whatever they do, and that's okay. I call them once a month or once every couple months and say, hey, got any questions? How are you doing with your oil? Do you need anything? Let me know if you need help, okay? So it's not that I don't stay in contact with them. We need to offer excellent customer service. No matter how somebody comes to this business, at the end of the day, it's all about customer service. So you take care of these people, okay? Your next group here are sharers.
Can I ask a question before we go any further? So you just leave them on your first line?
I
You
had
do
no
not
choice
put them-
because I had nowhere to even move them to in my first 14 days.
Okay, but what do you do now? If somebody comes in?
Well, you can't move them now.
Well.
Oh, what do I
okay.
do now if I bring someone in who's a
Yes.
shopper?
Yes, so you think
I put
of the
them as far
shopper,
down
but-
as I can.
Okay, but you, I mean, they could eventually, like you said, 6 to 8
And
months
so
down the
6 or 8
road.
months from now, they start building, hallelujah. okay? Because I'm still gonna make some money on that.
But
you're
those
not gonna
girls,
build under them.
Right.
but those girls up there, if all of a sudden they're like, hey, I wanna do this, what do you do
I'm gonna
now?
start my diamond leg over here.
I was gonna say that's leg number 4.
Because once you make, to make diamond, and I know a lot of you don't even understand the rank, so it doesn't matter too much, but you have to go on your 4th leg, you gotta start your 4th leg to make diamond,
Okay.
So between now and then, you got 3 girls, you're building this team here, somebody comes in 2 weeks' time, you're gonna have a kind of a pretty good idea, because either they are going to avoid your phone calls, or they are gonna be calling you like crazy, wanting to know what's going on. Okay, they're gonna be in the Facebook group, they're gonna be asking questions, they're gonna be wanting that Modern Essentials book, they're gonna be using oil, they're gonna be checking things out, and you're gonna know that. So when you get someone that's driving you crazy up here, in a good way, cause you're excited about oil too, right?
Like,
So-
that's me.
No, these people ask me a lot more questions than you do. But I'm excited every time I hear from you. So, I mean, it is exciting, because are we all in this business for the oil? At the end of the day, isn't it really about the oil? I mean, is there anybody here in this room that would give up their oil if you couldn't make any money? Nobody. See, look at Mike, he's like, over my dead body. Nobody's giving up their oil, so I'm happy and excited when someone calls me and says, hey, you know, I need to know this, so that's exciting. Now, I might refer you to your upline, I might refer you to a website, whatever, but I want to know that you're excited, okay? So, when you have someone that's calling you and they're involved and they're asking questions, you have a builder. Work with them. Put them where they need to be. Your upline will teach you where to put people. You don't know, when your first 3, 4, 5, 10 people, you don't really know where to put them. You literally, yeah.
Your upline will teach you if you're their upline.
If,
But Lisa
well,
wanted to.
from me down, your upline will teach you, okay? I can't promise what's gonna happen on your team, but call me and I'll help you,
Go
okay?
sideways.
But
Call
go
me and I'll
back a
help
little
you.
bit. Sometimes you have to be retrained. So, no, you can't go that way.
Yes, yeah, exactly, because honestly, when I started, I was a typical network marketer. I had done 2 or 3 different programs. I thought I needed all my people up here. Rena would say, no, put them down here, and I'm like, no, put them up here. We did this for a few weeks, and pretty much every day, didn't we? I
Until
bring
that
someone
night,
in, yeah,
about 2 o'clock in the morning,
I understand, yeah, I called the caller, 2 o'clock in the morning, I got this thing, I got it now, so.
But
and-
you were way ahead of other people to even know the question to ask.
Well, I asked a lot of questions. I really drove Rena crazy. I don't know how she survived the last
but
couple
I
months.
learned. If I didn't know, I went to find out.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so we've had a big growth experience, haven't we? We've grown a lot in the last couple months. So, I don't remember where my question was.
You read.
Where are sharers? Okay, so a sharer is someone who is, so you know your shoppers now, okay? Your shoppers are just not, you're not gonna hear from your shoppers. They're gonna go online, they're gonna make their order. They may occasionally call you with a question, but they are not interested in this business at all. Doesn't mean they won't be, so you want to maintain a good rapport with them, okay? But they're not doing this business now. A sharer is someone who's kind of excited about it. They like the oil and they're telling mom and they're telling their best friend. And so occasionally they're gonna call you up and say, hey, my mom really wants to get in this and buy wholesale. I don't really know what to do. So you're gonna sit down and explain and help that to her.
Can I ask a question
Mhm.
about the shoppers before you go too far? When you enroll shoppers, you know they're a shopper, and nobody's a mind reader, but you assume that they're gonna
Mhm.
stay a shopper. Where do you put them?
As far as down as you can put them.
So if.
Because if you put them on your,
If you've got one person up there,
if you've got one person and that person's got one person, that person's got one person, put them at the bottom,
yeah,
okay?
and you're not hurting those people underneath you.
No,
by
because,
putting-
no, because that's gonna help pad their 600 PV, and wherever they go, is gonna pad somebody when they occasionally shop, okay?
So it's not detrimental to put them there.
It's detrimental if you let them think they're gonna build a team on that person, okay? So, for example, when this person was put under me, and actually that was Rena that did that, and she said, she'll probably never do anything. So I never thought this was a person that was gonna do anything, and so far she hasn't. So don't put somebody underneath here and let them think they're building a team with them. You know, you can just call them and say, hey, I got somebody to put underneath you, this is a shopper, it's gonna help you out a little bit here and there.
Doesn't
And
hurt
it
you,
does.
doesn't help you.
Well, it helps you
It
when they
helps.
buy.
Yeah.
Helps when they buy,
Right.
okay? So, your sharers are your people who are gonna bring in an occasional person. They find out they're gonna make 20%. Wahoo, mom's gonna come in with a $150 kit, I'm gonna make $22, that's awesome, that'll buy me a bottle of whatever, okay? That is your sharer. You treat them like the shopper. You're not gonna build a team on them, okay? Your builder is your person who goes, I am going to be like a freight train on a track with this thing and I'm gonna make some money. Okay, and those are the people that are gonna call you, they have questions, they're doing classes, and they're building a business. Okay, so then, That's gonna be your front line. And then when you've got your front line, those people are gonna build this front line. You're just gonna work it all the way down, okay? Because you are gonna teach your front line to put good builders on their front line. It's all about connecting. I'm connected to I don't know if I'm on my 4th level or my 5th level. I know every person on my team. I talk to every person on my team almost every day, most of them. So I know what's happening with everybody. They're not just bringing people in and I don't have a clue what's going on. So you're gonna stay connected to your people and be sure that they're bringing on builders.
What's the 14 days all about?
14 days is, like I said, you put someone over here, like I put Angela over here, and they just kind of sit there till you decide where you need to put them. And a good example of this is June was gonna make Elite last month, and she had her 600 in volume here, and everybody here had bought. And at the last minute, this lady here goes in and cancels everything. So then June calls me just like a few days before the end of the month, and she's like, holy cow, my gal is gone. And
Because June checks everything.
every day. June knows when your order went out, what time and when it will be to your house, okay?
Shipping method.
Right, yeah, did it go second day, was it ground, when was it in Indianapolis? She knows all this stuff. So when this girl disappeared, and that was a bad situation from the very first day, okay?
But it's
So
gonna happen.
It is gonna
It's
happen.
gonna happen. I
And
mean,
when it
I'm a
happens,
realist.
when it happens, it's a good thing, okay? Because this was a situation of drama, and it was a lot of drama in the few short weeks that it lasted. But luckily, I had Jessica sitting over here, and I still had, I don't know, 1 or 2 days to move Jessica. So at the last minute, a few days before the end of the month, we just put Jessica right here. Okay, so that was really a lucky break that she was sitting up there. So you don't have to be in a big rush. Always mark in your calendar when you need to move somebody, because if you forget,
They're stuck.
that's where they're gonna be. Okay, so you wanna pay close attention to that and always do it. But I usually move mine about the 13th day, or I start looking. Usually place them on the 14th, but on the 13th day, I literally have this board right here, which seems so insignificant next to this board right here. But I have this board filled up with my whole team, and up until last week, it's propped up against my coffee table in my living room. And every single night, I come in and sit on my couch and study my board. And that seems really crazy until you have just 5 or 10 people here and you're trying to figure out where one's gonna go. And you wanna be sure you're doing it right. So I've made a lot of phone calls to Rena, June's made a lot of phone calls to me, Connie's made some phone calls to me, we're on the phone trying to figure out where people are gonna go. And if you are ignoring this, you're gonna be in big trouble, okay? You're not gonna know how to do this instinctively. Someone has to help you do this. So your upline is gonna be everything when this happens. So your upline will all be very well trained in where people need to go and why. And then they will explain that to you so that when you're ready to help your front line, you will get them where they need to be, okay? Is there any questions on any of that? Do we understand shoppers, sharers, builders? Everybody understands that? You know what you're looking for in your team?
Another question. Okay, so you've got some of yours together. Say if tomorrow you run into someone and you think, oh my gosh, this person is gonna, knock it out of the park. What would you do with them?
If that happened tomorrow, depending on if they lived in Brandenburg or English area, they would go under Mandy. If they lived towards, no, I'll take that back. They'd go under Mandy. Or well, Mandy's got a front line, they'd actually probably go under Lynn. If they lived towards town, they would go under Connie. I'm trying to kind of geographically group my people because they're pretty far spread out. So even though Connie has some people that I have brought in, she's just gonna take that area, Jeff Louisville area, and just take care of those people, okay? Lynn and Greg are gonna take care of the Brandenburg area. Mandy's gonna take care of towards English. So that would be based most of the time for me now at this point on geography, okay? Because my front line is filled, they've all got good builders, but you really wanna look, you really are just gonna go down the line, okay? So once you have yours and they've got theirs, then you're just gonna start looking at this line. And you're gonna call these people and say, hey, who do you have? Who's the builder? And hopefully you're gonna be in tune enough to know these people anyway. So you're gonna find out who's the builder here. And you're gonna figure out where you need them. And it's depending on, sometimes people are trying to make rank and you're trying to make bonuses. So maybe, I'll tell you what I'm not gonna do. Let me just explain this to you guys. Because I think this is a key thing. say you're trying to make Premier. Does anybody here know what Premier actually is?
5,000, 2,000, one leg and 1,000 on wherever.
Yeah, 2,000 legs, okay? So you can do it with 2 people, it doesn't matter, but this is probably my mom trying to figure out where we are. Now, it's the tea party wanting money.
Oh, will you be able to help people out?
Yeah, I will help them. So it's 5,000. This leg's got to have 2,000. This leg has got to have 2,000. And then
PV,
right.
PV.
PV.
Always talking about
Right,
PV.
okay.
The other 1,000 can come from anywhere. So it can be 2,000, 3,000, 25, 25. It can be 2, 2, 1, because you can do it with 2 legs. So this is Premier, okay? Now, this girl's busting her tail to build a team, and she's got 2,000 PV. This girl's busting her tail. This girl, not so much. Now, the natural thing to do, because I want a bonus on her making Premier, when I bring in some hottie toddy, is to stick them underneath here, right? Which is the way our society works, but I don't. Why would I reward this person who's not working? Okay? You don't want to reward this person. They need to show you that they're going to build a team. Stick it over here. Stick it under one of these people that's busting their tail, okay? And this is another problem in some of these other teams, because they're so focused on making rank all the time, they're just sticking people any place to make rank. Let me tell you guys something. Rank means nothing if you're not making the money that goes with it. It doesn't matter if you're a diamond, if you're getting a $4,000 a month paycheck. It matters if you're getting a $35,000 or $40,000 a month paycheck. So don't be just trying to build rank and not build money. At the end of the day, are you working for money or for prestige? You know, who cares if you're a diamond, if you're getting paid like a silver? It doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna reward this girl right here, but I am gonna figure out which one of these girls needs somebody new on their team, and I'm gonna put them over here. And then this girl's gonna have to show me that she wants to build a business, okay? I think that's super important. Any more questions on any of that? Everybody's got it? So every one of you could come up here and present this to me tonight, right? Can anybody present this to me tonight?
You started to talk about the dynamic compression a little bit, but then because this S down here was Susie that was gonna take
That was
off, and
Susie
then
Q.
there was a bunch of dead weight above her.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain how that works?
I can't explain a whole lot actually about how that works, to be quite frank. You tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, let me try it and you tell me if I'm wrong, okay?
You're the enroller of Susie Q.
Oh, I'm
right?
Susie's, am I the enroller of Susie Q?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Then in that case, in the first 60 days, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna make whatever she does no matter what.
Mhm.
Right, so I'm not sure exactly what your question is.
So you have to be the enroller for dynamic compression to help you get paid off of somebody that's
No,
built
no, you don't
under-
have to be.
You don't? You can get paid off of somebody that's far enough down the line of shoppers or non-shoppers.
If you are silver and above, you're gonna get paid on 7 lines no matter what. Doesn't matter who brought them in, you get paid on that. Okay, is that your question?
But what happens if these guys in
What
the
happens when
middle
these
say,
guys don't
"Hey,
shop
I
at
didn't
all?"
order anything.
Okay, then this girl, I believe, moves up. Is that correct? So say this is the first line, here's the second line, here's the third line, she's all the way, says she's on the 4th line, okay? Number 2 girl, number 3 girl doesn't do anything. So she's gonna go up to number 2 spot, and then I'm gonna get paid 2% or 3% on her. Okay.
Who does that? Does doTERRA do
They
that?
do
They've
that, it's
got
just all in their
software that just-
system.
They
Okay.
just skip the people that aren't
They don't shop.
participating like they should.
And the
Right.
shame of that is, there's a lot of money to have been made in the meantime.
Mhm. Yeah, because when you get a big team, you get a lot of people with a big team, and somebody up here forgets to spend their money, they've lost all that money.
Is that like monthly, if like 2 and 3 doesn't buy anything that month, then 4?
Right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's for the month, it's for however that
Because they may
plays
go in the
out for the
next month
month.
and not have to.
But if 2 orders, then
Right,
4 go back down to 3.
right.
When you get a check after you start getting multi-levels here and everything, is there a detailed analysis of what
Yes.
you, okay?
You can go in and it will show you every
Right.
person you got paid on,
Okay.
and it's kinda hard to understand, but it's there. I just look at the bottom numbers, circle that figure.
I was
What's my check?
trying to form a joke there for you, Lisa, but I didn't quite get that
Save
out.
it. Just save it, Robert. Okay, any more questions on how we get paid? or on how we build our team.
I will say one thing that if you go to your dashboard, and Lisa will attest to this, there's two little sections here. One says you haven't started making any money yet, and then you start adding it up, and then all of a sudden there's a graph.
Yeah, and it's exciting when the graph pops up. That popped
Yeah.
up for me this month, so it's super exciting because you can see it graphs from the beginning or for the last 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. So it's just up and down as it goes along and shows
So
you.
these people in the front office have really got it together. They,
Yeah, it's pretty,
I tell you what, I read some stuff on this Corey Lindley that's coming to Indianapolis next Wednesday night.
next Wednesday.
Is that
And
when we're going?
Yes, that's where we're supposed to be going.
Next Wednesday.
next
I thought it was
Wednesday.
Thursday, but we'll look on our
Maybe-
calendar.
well, I
and
was
see.
gonna say, I think it's the
Thursday.
29th.
It is next week.
I think it is Wednesday, because I have class.
Oh,
But this guy, they went over and he lived part of his life in Asia, and he's been through all these other companies, and he decided, this is the one we're gonna do right, and he's the financial guy that's gonna be there. But he's off the top on network marketing.
How much does that cost?
Zero.
Yeah, I think that was free.
Is this a financial person? Yeah, I'm not gonna start it out.
I have one more question. When you're at the top and you enroll 2 people and they say, I'm gonna build a business. And he was talking about, he enrolled 2 people and he thought they were gonna be good, but they.
No, I don't think, I don't,
I'm not ready to judge them yet.
Yeah,
I'm saying there's potential problems.
we
with it.
actually thought there was gonna be no chance at all they were gonna do anything, but they actually might be a little more,
If that's me, and I've got those.
He's gonna do it, look
And
at
I've
him.
got those 2 people that I just signed up. And then I flop. Okay, they're not
Okay.
doing anything. Blah. So I go out and I get 3 more
Right.
that I know is gonna do something.
Right.
So I can build these guys.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
These guys become this and that
Right.
you had.
right.
I got it.
Okay, so I knew you did.
I
Is it a
got it.
terrible idea to put your shoppers all under one leg?
I would not, just because I mean, it doesn't matter, it's not good or bad for you either way. I feel like it's a little more fair to my team if I just spread them out. So I
And
just,
the farther down you get them, when they do shop, you're gonna get closer to the 7%.
and that's why you're trying to, if you've got, you asked
That's-
the question,
I
you
got
said
it.
if you've got one,
When you
and then
did
one,
the-
and then one,
The multi-level,
and then one.
unilevel,
Right,
the unilevel
unilevel.
bundles, yeah.
If you bring in a shopper, even if you've only got one line here, and you put them down here, then all of a sudden you're getting paid 2, 3, 5% on them, instead of putting them up here and getting 2% on them. Which is only a few dollars, but in the grand scheme of things, when you've got a few thousand people on your team, those few dollars add up a lot too. Okay?
2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7.
7. So, and on that note, let's just talk real quickly about shoppers. I don't want to have ever implied, and maybe I have, that you are strictly looking for builders and you just want to build your team of builders. If you've got a team of builders and everybody's doing their 150, wahoo, that's great, you know what your check's gonna be, right? But if each one of those builders only has 1 shopper, or 2 shoppers that spend 100, or 4 shoppers that spend 50, then all of a sudden you have tripled your income. So shoppers have a place. It's not that we don't want to bring shoppers in, it's just that we don't want to build a team on shoppers.
Now, do shop, like, they still pay the $35? If they come in and say, I just want to shop, I'm
Right,
not going to do
Right,
anything
it's
else.
just a.
And there's a lot of people,
It's- yeah,
80% of the
80%.
team, people
We'll
that
just
sign
pay
up
the $35.
and shop
Is-
for themselves.
Okay, and is there another option to shop besides retail? Or is it
Well,
just retail or
there's a
something
bad option. There's a, what's it even called? Wellness, a preferred member, yeah. So they can join for $10 and then they get 20% off and no LRP points.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't even tell people
So
about
this-
that.
ex-
It's not the best deal for them. As a matter of fact, in your little book, I marked that off in your book. I marked that off in everyone's book. That's why, because, I mean,
Well, that's why I was wondering. if-
Because even if they order just 50 PV a month, and they're not gonna build a business under them, and they don't and that way they increase to the 30% in the end,
Mhm.
they're still going to earn their points every month, and they're
Okay.
gonna get their shipping points.
Okay.
So,
okay, so that is their best deal for them. Now, we're just gonna talk briefly, what you need, Lynn?
Sorry, just a
Okay.
quick question about the rolling teams. If,
Mhm.
you know, tiers 2 and 3 don't work, do, you know, your personal, tiers only go 7 tiers down. So do tiers
Well, they're
8
gonna
and
keep
9
going,
roll up
right,
as well?
right. They're
Okay.
gonna keep going
That's what I was
indefinitely.
wondering, if
and
8
they
and 9
count
will
for your-
roll up to replace
Right,
what would
yes,
become
they
6 and
will.
7.
They will.
But
Okay.
Okay.
then if you're on level 8 on down, somebody orders down there, it still counts for your group volume.
Wow, really?
You're what?
So on the multi-level on that, it's still seven,
You
seven,
get
seven,
paid on 7 levels, but we're in Robin's downline, Robin that sent you the thing, and I have no idea, we're on at least 10 or 12 or 15, but that's where you got your.
A lot of things that also happen also, and I will tell you guys, that, like, don't stress out about this stuff, because honestly, one of the best things that Rena said to me when I came in this business, I was looking at all the paperwork, trying to figure out this compensation plan, trying to figure out what these pools are. Every day I'm like, what is this pool? Does anybody even know what this pool is? Where does this money come from? What's the percent?
Let me
And
find out.
Rena's like, I don't know. It doesn't apply to me. I'll worry about it when I get there. And so that really took the pressure off of me to try and know every single detail because it didn't apply to me. Now, when Rena went to convention just a few weeks ago, suddenly it applied to both of us because we made silver in like a week or 10 days apart of each other. So she calls me up and she's like, guess what this pool share is? And it was, well, actually this month it was $200. So, wahoo, go us, right? But we didn't know and we didn't need to worry about it because it didn't matter. So you don't have to sit someone down with someone. People don't overwhelm them. All they really need to know when they start is basically just how Power of 3 works. They just need to know those basic things. How does Power of 3 work? How does Fast Start work? Fast Start's the most important thing for them to know because that's how they're gonna start making some money. So just Fast Start, Power of 3, and Unilevel, and don't overwhelm them with stuff. Just give them the very basics. It doesn't matter to them anyway. Don't talk to them about their website. Don't explain to them how their back office works because unless they're sitting in front of their computer, it means nothing to them. You're just overwhelming and confusing them. And then they're on overload and they're like, I can't do this thing. Okay, so keep it simple for them.
Well, some of us don't know how to work
And
that
some of-
anyway.
Some of them don't know how to work it when somebody's sitting there teaching it to them. Then what do you
And
do with
that's okay
those
too.
guys?
And that's okay too.
Okay, so quickly we're gonna talk about how to build your team, okay? So here's me. This is the most exciting news I've had since I started 11 weeks ago. Does anybody here?
11 weeks?
I know, can you believe it? Isn't that crazy? Seems like a year or 2 or 10 already, doesn't it? Except I'm not making $20,000 yet, so it really does seem like 11 weeks. Does anybody know what Elite is? Anybody here? June and Mike, anybody else? Connie, you know what it is, you big dork.
You
All
have to
right.
answer in this class.
You're supposed to be answering, you know that.
She calls
Elite
you names,
is
not
3,000 PV from anywhere, okay? Can be any place. Can be under 1 leg, can be under 2 legs, can be under 3 legs. Does not matter, it's just 3,000 in PV. Okay, when your front line reaches to a place where they are all elite, which is 3,000 PV, then all of a sudden, you're gonna be silver. The income of silver is about $2,200 to $2,500 a month. This is,
Does that have to happen in the same month?
No.
Okay.
no, you won't be silver until they're all elite,
Well, what I'm saying
but they don't
is,
have to become elite in the same month.
do they have to qualify elite?
Yes.
They all have to qualify elite in the same month for you to qualify as silver.
Each and every
Okay.
month you
Yeah,
start.
yeah, every
over.
month, because you start over every month because everything's based on your income.
Okay.
But once you've built a solid, steady team, you're just gonna move forward, you're not gonna go
Right.
backward. So the average income at silver is $2,200 to $2,500 a month.
Can I ask what it is before you get there?
Totally depends on what you're doing.
Mhm.
It just depends on what you're doing. When I made silver this month and my last four checks altogether was $2,960 some. So that's what I did in the last 4 weeks. I
And
don't
that
know,
was
do you know what
at
yours
silver.
was?
No, but I just know that 4 weeks ago I made $1,200 too.
It's so awesome.
Between the two, and then I had a 600 and a 200 and a 100 in there.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I can't even stand it. We can't talk about that because they want to talk about money all night. It's too exciting. So I mean, you know, who couldn't use that, right? Like, is this going to be a game changer for everybody in the room? Really? I mean, it is. None of us in here are super wealthy, so I would take that money. So the only thing you got to do is just get your front line to elite. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just get these 3 people to elite. That's 3,000 in this leg, 3,000 in this leg, 3,000 in this leg, okay? Anybody can do this. This is not hard. Now, if I sat down and I said, do you want to be gold, and you have to have three premieres, and 3 premieres is 3 legs, and 2,000, and 2,000, and 1,000, and then you're like, holy cow, I can never do that. I can't do that. I can't even think about that, much less, put my mind to it and do it. But can we just sit down and say, hey, I can get all 3 of these girls here to 3,000 PV? We can all do that, right? So then, you have turned around and done the exact same thing. You've taught them to do the exact same thing on their front line. Their goal, and this is your number 1 goal in your business, period, from now on, from this day forward, okay? If you are serious and you want to build a business, you're gonna teach front line to elite. You're gonna teach your front line to get their front line to elite. When this team here hits elite, you have already passed premier, you've already passed gold, and then all of a sudden you're platinum.
And that's where we're going.
Now, my goal, Lord willing,
This is,
that's right. I hope to do this by the end of the year. That is my plan. My front line's plan is to be silver by the end of this year. If these girls are silver, because all these guys are elite, then all of a sudden, I'm making about $8,800 a month. Now we're talking about some money that's really changing the game, right? This is completely different. This is not the $500 or the $150 or whatever that you're gonna invest every month to earn $8,800. How many of you can go out and get a job today and in 6 months or 3 months or whatever be making $8,800 a month? And how many of you can go out and build a business and invest $150 a month and make $8,800 a month in 5 or 6 months?
Beautiful return.
Yeah, it's amazing. This right here, because I'm like all the rest of you, I'm like everybody else. When I signed up, Brenda said, "Oh, I'd really like you to be premier in 3 months." I didn't know what premier was.
oh yeah, in
I was like,
90
okay.
days.
I was like, okay.
90 days.
Whatever you say, Rena. I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try it. So that was my plan. I didn't even know what it was. It didn't mean anything to me at the time, but when I hit silver and I saw platinum was my next thing I was going to do here, because I went through, what did we go through? We went through premier, and I mean like
Well,
3
the
ranks
first-
in 1
the
month.
first- Yeah, you weren't elite at the beginning of August. At the end of August, I think you were. You went through all of them.
Yeah, so in 1 month, we went from point A to point whatever. Now I'm looking at
I
platinum and I'm
had, I
going,
think, 12 people in your line.
we had 7 the first month. So,
Wow.
And that's
Yeah.
because you signed up enough people that got your volume where it needed to be.
Because they listened to her and you see the excitement that
Right.
is.
I know she's training people to be just like
I
her,
am
too,
excited.
which is awesome.
You have to.
But you also signed up, had enough classes and signed up enough people that your volume.
Yeah,
was
and
where
12
it needed
people
to
yeah,
be.
and we're gonna talk about that too, because that, at the end of the day, that's gonna be your most important thing. So, moral of the story here is, that's where I wanna be, because then I know what's right after that, okay? And if I can do that by the end of December, I will have done that in 5 months, and I'll be pretty fired up, let me tell you what. So does everybody see how you can do this? I mean, is this gonna be hard for anybody? Like, just get 3 people who wanna build a team, and then teach them to get 3 people that wanna build a team, and just train them to get 3,000 in volume. That's it. So this is a no-brainer. When I saw this a few weeks ago at a meeting, this totally changed everything for me. Totally. Because you don't have to sit around and talk about Premier and all these other things that, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna go elite silver, elite platinum, elite gold, elite diamond. It's gonna be amazing. So please put that straight into your brain. Very, very important. Any questions on that? Nope. Okay, then let's go on to, well, here, let's go on to this, since we just did elite. This is for June, this is for Connie for making elite.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Welcome. Mandy's not here, but wahoo to my front line. They're awesome, and they are awesome too. Okay, we're gonna talk about the things that you are going to commit to build your team, okay? If you are serious, everybody in this room, if you are a business builder, huh?
I'm sorry, so I have to make a
Go
noise.
ahead.
I'm done making noise.
Okay. If you seriously want to build your team, and you want to make some money, there's some things that you just have to do. Because here's what you can do. You can sit around on your computer all day, and you can read about oil. You can read your Modern Essentials book. You can watch videos all day long, and you will not make any money, okay? First thing you're gonna do is Success Challenge. And I'm not kidding you guys about this. I keep talking about it and then I talk about it some more and if you're.
Oh, I am?
Yes,
Like
you are.
right now?
Yeah, right now.
Well, she just called me about this, or texted me actually.
Because this is our,
She's doing
this is
really
our
well.
Success Challenge rock star right here, okay?
I don't know what that means.
All it means, okay, I'm gonna tell them what it means, okay? This is
Okay.
what it means. There are forms to fill out on here, on the Success Challenge. We couldn't find the forms, we didn't have the lead guide, so the rest of us are like, we can't find the forms, there's no forms. Connie has got so much initiative and so much drive, and she's so fired up about Success Challenge that she enlarges her
I did.
screen on her video and copies down the questions that she's looking at in the video and answers them on paper.
Yeah, that's what because I didn't know I could get them. And I thought, well, I want to be able to get my points. So I thought, well, surely I can do something, and I'm really computer illiterate. So I thought, well, so I paused it, and then I was able to enlarge the screen. I was able to read the questions from the form that they were showing me. So then I didn't really write the questions down, I just answered them, and then I
Close
went on to
enough.
the next one.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. So anyway, so that's what I did, and the one thing about the Success Challenge that I like is I need a lot of encouragement. And I told Lisa I'm really shy.
Nobody in this room believes that, do they?
But I'm shy about certain things. Politics I'm not shy about. But asking people and trying to sell things to people, I am horrible at. I feel like I'm bothering people. I feel like I'm being pushy. I hate it. I sold Pampered Chef, and I really love the products. And I always felt like I was bothering people. I mean, people, they'd have a party, but it's like they really don't want to have a party. So this helps me to get on the ball. And the one thing that the Success Challenge has done is the one thing that, and I went back kind of through it tonight just to review things that I've done, is the one word that they all use all the time, all the way up the line, is consistency. You have to be consistent. And the one thing, and I know last week I was out of town, it was a mess, it messed up my schedule. I wasn't able to do the Success Challenge and get it done last week like I should have, so I'm like a week behind now. But consistency is important. I try to do my mornings. I know Lisa does hers in the afternoon. I have to do it in the mornings because in the evenings, because I'm on the city council, if I have meetings, everything takes place in the evenings, afternoons or evenings. So I have to get my stuff done in the morning. So I always get up, eat my breakfast, have my devotion because I think that's more important to get my day started right. Then I go down and I'll do the Success Challenge. I listen to the videos. And one thing I like about the videos is some of them are very short, 2 to 3 minutes long, 6 minutes long. And then some of them are a little bit longer. Lisa knew I got excited when I saw I call it the pipeline one, but it's called residual income. Has anybody watched that yet? It is awesome. I thought, oh, this makes sense now.
There's a total game changer for you.
It was a total game changer for me, you build the pipelines and you help people. So whenever I bring people in, I said, you have to watch this video first in order to kind of grasp the concept. So that was awesome. The creativity one, I'm not a creative person, I never have been, it's just not my blood. But the creativity, that helped a lot. And then the one thing she wanted me to talk about, do you want me to do that later?
No, right now.
It's not very good. I've looked at some of these is the vision board. Has anybody done their vision boards yet? Mine's not very good, because for one thing, I'm not a creative person. And I used my scrapbooking paper that I've paid hundreds of dollars for too, and it's sitting in my closet not doing anything.
Oh,
So-
so mine is.
So this is what I did, and they said to have like 9 things on it. Well, I've got 6 because I'm thinking, I said, this means that I want to be greedy or want a lot of money. I bought the Diamond Kit. I need to pay my savings accounts back. So my goal is to get that money back into the savings account, because I feel like that's the family's money and I need to get that back in there. The other thing that I have is I have several friends, this is our Bunko group, so they're just kind of representing. We've got one friend who has cancer and she's in here and she's had to go off work. She's used all of her time. I've given her money. I would like to be able to do more to help her because it's not through her own. She's gone through everything, and her electric was going to be shut off one week, so I gave her money for that, and everybody's trying to pitch in. I would like to be able to do more of that for my friends and for my family. So That's what I meant by that. Learn Spanish, that might just get taken off. That's not gonna happen in 6 weeks, but I've always wanted to learn Spanish, and my son can speak Spanish, so it's fun to listen to him talk, but I have no idea what he's saying. And then I want to travel. I've always wanted to go to Italy, and I've always wanted to go to Peru. When I put that on there, everyone saw this, they said, oh, are you going on a mission trip? No, since 5th grade I've wanted to go to Peru. It has nothing to do with missions, that's just where I want to go. My son likes to go camping, so I thought it'd be nice to go camping with the family, and and pay off our mortgage. So those are the big things that I want. And then I started, my husband and I, something that probably should go on here is eating healthier, since it kind of goes along with the oils. We've discussed that, Trim Healthy Mama, because I've got that book, and I was doing it last year until the holidays hit, and then that kind of blew that off. So anyway, and then I kind of got out of the habit. I lost 20 pounds before the holidays, and then I put 40 back on. So anyway, you know how that goes.
Not good math.
So I need to get some things like that on here. The one thing that the vision board said, and I took some notes from it because I kind of went back and, oh, it's laying right there. Can you have me that paper? When I first started watching the video, has anybody seen this video? You need to watch it once a month, and every time you go back, you'll learn something different. Once you accomplish something on here, like once I get my thing paid back, I'm going to take that off and put it in a book of results so I can see what I've accomplished, and then I'm going to put something else back on here, you know, to take that place. That's why I said Spanish might just have to come off. It might be a long time before that gets on there. But this other stuff is going to be very relatively easy for me to do. You don't want to put impossible things on here that you think that you will never accomplish. The gentleman who they're doing this, his name is Kirk Duncan. And one day, and I'm just going to tell you his story, it's very short. She said he was thinking about something that he could do to realize his dreams. And he said he was just kind of talking. This is what I said, I thought, oh, we're getting really new agey in here, because I don't like, you know, that stuff. And then she said, okay, well, actually, he was asking God. And I thought, well, just get to the point. So he was praying, trying to figure out what he could do to make his business better. And this vision board, it came to his mind. So he just went and he got blue duct tape and just put it on his wall. And then he said he sat there and he thought, what else can I do? And he said pictures. So he went and he got some pictures, and then he put the writing down. And what the lady said who gave this speech, she said, your brain, the right side of your brain really likes pictures. Everybody likes pictures. You get on Facebook, everybody looks at pictures. Kids like picture books. I like picture books. But the left side of your brain has to have the words and the statements. So then you're working with your whole brain. The other thing that she said that this is very, that you have to learn is your brains are really lazy. And that's true. We only lose what, use 10% of our brains. I mean, I know it's very little. I'm making that number up, by the way. But I know that it's very, very little. And so she said what you do is, you get your vision board, put on it whatever you want. That's reasonable. Don't put you're going to make $1 million in a year, because it's probably not going to happen. But put things on it that's reasonable. And then you need to focus on it for 3 minutes in the morning when you first get up, and then 3 minutes in the evening. And she said, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Your brain is going to say, I can't do that. You're going to start getting negative feedback from yourself. Because, and I did, you do. And she said, because your brain doesn't want to work to figure out how to accomplish these things. So she said what she did, and what this gentleman recommends in his book is, you write them down. And she said, this one lady said, well, I'm not even thinking of anything. One of her ladies that was under her, she said she came back the next week and had 3 full pages written out of negative thoughts that had come through. Whether it's, I don't know enough people, this really doesn't work, this is just like Pampered Chef, it's never gonna, you know, I can't do this, you know, you need to write all of those things down. And then she said what she did, she goes, I like fire. I thought, pyromaniac. And she said, I went out to the grill and she burnt her list. Now she made a photocopy because she wanted a photocopy of it. And what that does is it allows your mind to release that negative energy, because she said unless you acknowledge what it is you think you cannot do, you can't change it. So you have to acknowledge those thoughts, and then you need to make it to positive. How can I get change the fact that I think, like I thought, I don't know enough people. I'm on the city council, I know hundreds of people. I mean,
She didn't
they
know.
might not like me, but I know them. So anyway, you know, or I can't do this. Well, yeah, I can. She made me get a Facebook page, which I hate. Again, that goes back to politics. I don't like to put anything that can be used against me on a Facebook page. But she had me start a Facebook page. I invited like 10 friends. One of them was the city clerk, who I thought she's gonna think I'm a nut. She texted me back that same night, or messaged me, she goes, oh, I wanna know about these oils, I use this, this, and this. Okay, she was my first sign up, for $2.50. She is a sharer. I don't know how many people, she said, do you know what Connie's doing? You need to go to her. So now I've got all these people who want to sign up that I decided, I'm waiting on them to have class. I'm gonna have a class in my house. What? I just thought about that tonight. I have the class, and just have them come to my house. Because I was gonna try to get them to sign up underneath each other, but that's really nothing to you all. But anyway, so all these people are interested in it. I've taken it in when they've been sick at the office and they've used it there, the oil's there, so they know they work. I mean, it's cleared them up almost immediately with allergies, the lemon, the lavender, the peppermint. It's amazing. So I got them, my son went and told some people where he works, they came into a party, my husband has told people where he works, he just mentioned it. I've not really told anybody yet. So I've got to get busy because I need to get that out there. So just so you know, so I know people. She said this is going to happen once you write everything down, and even destroy it. Your brain is going to be resistant to that. It's called, and it's going to happen probably every morning. So you need to go through that until you can have a positive influence. I tend to be a little bit negative, and that could be politics. But anyway, I want to be more positive. And then she said, what happens is if you go in. If you're a positive person, Lisa's like this to me, I'm just gonna brag on her. She's a very positive person, highly energetic. I wanna be like her. I don't want people to be like me, I wanna be like Lisa. Because I want that energy that she has. And so when people see me at a class, not a party, but at a class, I want to emulate her attitude and the positiveness, if that's a word, that she brings. So, but if I go, and if this is what she said, every time you have a thought, you're gonna have a reaction in your mind, and then your body's gonna make some kind of gesture. And it can be a good gesture, or it can be a bad gesture. Okay, I'm on the city council, I've been told I've got to stop rolling my eyes at people when they're talking. You know, I've been on there for almost 12 years, they've got to be used to it by now. That is not a good gesture to do. So, the way that we come across can make people either be positive, oh, this is a good thing, or, you know, you do a negative gesture, it's gonna make them think, oh, this is not something I wanna get involved in. Lisa has all the right moves for that, and I appreciate that.
That's so nice.
So that is something that we need to emulate. And I want to attract people like her. I don't want to
Everybody
attract,
wants a Lisa.
I do not want to attract negative people who you're gonna have to work really hard to bring them along, because it's gonna make extra work for you. So we want to attract people with high energy, well, like Lisa. I want to attract all my people, I want them to be Lisas.
Oh, you're too nice.
So anyway, so that's basically it for the vision board. I didn't make it to the end, but watch the video, make your vision board. Okay, I'm going to admit, it's been downstairs in my basement. I need to get it up where I can look at it. At 3 minutes,
Sit it next to your dry erase
Well,
board in front of your couch.
yeah, well, you know, I just need to put it by my bed. But
You
I'm
know where I
afraid my
have
dogs
mine?
will chew it up.
I have mine in my bathroom. I've got double sinks here, and I've got a linen closet, and I open it
Oh,
up,
good
and
idea.
I've got it right there. So when I get ready in the morning, it's.
Good idea.
Yeah.
But it's on. Mine's not big like that. Mine's on a folder, a file folder, a green one.
Well, see, that's a good, yeah, and it can be any size. It doesn't have to be really big, and they don't have to look like this. I've seen them where people just, I'm gonna say scribble, they write. I can't read it because I've just seen pictures. I didn't mean scribble. They can read it.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm a preschool teacher, so, you know, we need to say scribble.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know.
And put the pictures on, it's really just for you. It's not for anyone else to look at, it's just for you. And, it helps.
But I do like the fact that you make something that you can take off and put in a result.
Yeah, I just use that double-sided tape.
And one thing that he talked about in that video, you tell me if I'm wrong, Connie, maybe I read
Okay.
it somewhere else, but they talked about taking these off every few months as you accomplish something, taking it off and putting it in a binder.
That's what I said.
Because,
Results book.
yes, oh, your results book, okay, somehow I must have missed that. So I think that's an
Yeah.
awesome idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Because then you really can go back and look and say, well, you know, I didn't think I could do that, but wow, look, I did it in, 3 weeks or
Yes,
6
and
weeks.
the
or-
guy, and I think he's written a book, and I'm not sure she gave the name of it.
He has written a
But
book,
I would like
don't
to
know
get the
what it was.
book.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So, Success Club works one of 2 or
Yeah.
3 ways. There is a 90-day success challenge. Every person needs to be on that. And these are the things that, quite frankly, I told my team last week, if you're not doing these things, don't come to me and tell me you want to build a business, okay? Because if you're not doing these things, you don't want to build a business. Because this is how you're going to build your business, okay? So you need to be on the success challenge. There's a 90-day success challenge. Everybody needs to be on that one. If you are anything below an elite, which all of you are in here except for Connie and June, then you also want to do the elite challenge. So you're going to do 2 challenges. Now your homework is doubled, okay? Thank Andy Goddard for that. The elite challenge is just for 4 weeks, okay? And it just drives you right to the elite rank. Every person that comes to this business and wants to build a business needs to be signed up for the elite challenge, okay? This is 90 days. It's a little slower, a little bit.
Can I say something? The fact that she's elite and she's never had any classes is amazing to
It's.
me.
I have an amazing team. I have an amazing.
I've
She's
had
had some
classes.
classes. She's had some classes.
So you haven't really shared it with people?
One,
Yeah.
one. Well, we got
That's
2
awesome.
lunches. We had a couple lunches.
Yeah, and I've had a couple lunches, yeah.
But that means your team volume has been 3,000.
I am telling you guys, my team rocks, okay? They're all awesome. Everybody here is awesome.
That is awesome.
They are awesome.
She
So,
doesn't even do her 90 days yet.
I know.
I know, it's
I love
okay. I know, it's awesome. So, everybody's on the 90-day success challenge. This is gonna take you an hour, maybe 2 you think 2 hours on the creative weeks, but you can do this in an hour for the
So,
most
yeah, because
part.
some of the videos are very, very short.
Yeah. You may sometimes have an hour video, but then your other stuff is real short anyway. So you're talking about max a couple hours a week doing that. Get on there and just do a little thing each night. The elite thing I found was, actually what happened to me was, okay, I'm getting ready for gold. So I decided I was gonna do the 90-day success challenge and the gold challenge. I got on the gold challenge and found out there were some things I had no idea what they were talking about in terms of paperwork and stuff. So I thought, well, I gotta go back. So I'm doing all 3 of these challenges right now. So it's been pretty amazing, but this is short. These are just a 30-day thing. It's 4 weeks. You just get in there and you're trying to make that rank. It's teaching you how to go to where you want to be. Okay, so completely different than this, which is longer, more intense, more detail, more oil-oriented and business-oriented and kind of life-oriented versus just let's figure out how to get to elite. Okay, so if you are not elite, you need to be signed up for these 2 things right here. If I come back to a meeting next month and you guys tell me, yes, I want to build a business and no, I have not started a success challenge, I don't believe you, okay? This is key. If you are elite, you need to be signed up for, you need to be signed up for silver. And honestly,
Premier, is it silver?
it is premier, but you're
What's
gonna
it say?
get everybody to your team to elite and go to silver.
Okay.
Actually, probably though, honestly, for you guys, I'd probably still start at elite because that's where we're gonna start talking about the mentoring and things and let's just start at the beginning. So let's just everybody do
We
elite.
started on Premier.
Just
Okay.
do elite. Do elite and premier.
Now that's 3.
Okay, then do elite. Okay,
And
so
you just
get
progress
on the
through
success
hours. You
challenge.
gotta get done with
We
one.
can't
Yeah.
start those next.
I think actually we can. It looks to me, because I just went in and signed up for elite and gold both, and it looks to me like you can just go in at any time now. I don't think it doesn't
Because you're
show
a
that
silver
it's.
rank.
Well, it doesn't, even for the 90 days, we brought Autumn onto this thing last night, it did not say that she couldn't get in. So I think you just, because that's how the app was set up, was that you could just come in anytime. And I think that online they have changed that, so you
Start
just
where
come
you
in,
are.
right, I think you just come in anytime. So, yep,
So we need to go home and look.
yes,
and
go
get
home
on
and
this.
see if you can get on that, because Autumn got on last night. So, number 1 key thing about Success Challenge, when you become a leader, this is gonna save you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of training, okay? Because every single person, as soon as you bring someone in, you put them on this challenge. Then they know exactly what you know. Then when they bring someone in, they put them on this challenge, and then they know exactly what you know. You can go 100 lines down here, and everybody's doing the exact same thing. You don't have Johnny Blow over here doing his thing, and Susie Q over here doing her thing, and chaos everywhere because nobody knows what anybody's doing, and you know, you get a mess like that going on. So you come down 2 lines and you try to help somebody down here, you don't even know what they're doing, and they don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows what anybody's doing. So get everybody on this challenge. This is the greatest thing I have ever seen, seriously, bar none, in network marketing. This is the greatest thing there is. Get your people on this. Get yourself on this. If you're serious at all about building your business, get on this thing.
Do you have to have a book for that 90 days?
There is a lead guide. Lead guide is a sort of thorn in my side. When we started, what happened
Started out
was,
with last year's
we
version.
started out with last year's lead guide. I could never figure out where lead guide fit into the challenge. We just struggled. When we first started, it was gonna be me and June, and there were so many people on, we were gonna share. And there were so many people so fast, it was like, 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever, and so we couldn't share. So we thought, well, we'll print them off. Well, the lead guide is this big, so, it's gonna cost more to print it off than buy it. It's $65 to buy it. I would actually say buy it. Now, in hindsight, I would say buy it. Invest your money in your business and just buy it. You can make copies for people underneath you. You have it all right there, a lot less drama, and you know what you've got, okay? If you go under the library tab on the top, most of the print-offs are on there. Go all the way to the bottom. What's gonna happen is there's stuff to buy, there's advertising. You'll never find those downloads. Go all the way to the bottom of the library, and the downloads are at the bottom. Most of those papers you can download and print off. Not all of them. So if you can afford the lead guide, I would definitely say invest the $65, get the lead guide, you're gonna use it for a lifetime, okay?
Where is it? I've not seen it.
You can go to, it's on Aroma Tools, it's on DoPro, it's on, all of the sites have it. My oil business, they all have it.
But it's not on the Success Challenge.
It's not,
so-
it probably is actually on the Success Challenge, honestly, it probably is.
Sorry, what were the websites you just listed on?
My Aroma Tools and
Don't pro.
DoPro and my oil business. Okay, so your first thing you're gonna do is Success Challenge. Sorry, I didn't mean to erase that. Your second thing that you are going to do is, I'm gonna do that last. Second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna check in with your upline. Okay, that's assuming you have an upline that wants to check in with you. If you don't, I guess you're gonna call and check in with me. This is very important. I mean, you can tell here we have a team environment, everybody's connected, everybody cares about each other. We got somebody over here in this leg, that's going over here and teaching a class in this leg. This girl here is not making a dime when she goes over here and teaches a class. We are all connected, we are still all one team. This is part of being a decent human being, okay? It doesn't matter how much money you're making, just be a decent human being and go help your fellow team members, okay? Check in with your upline, see who needs what, and let them know what you're doing. Don't go try and be the Lone Ranger on your own, because I'm gonna tell you, you're going to mess up, okay? We all mess up. So you need somebody to rein you in and help you figure out what's the right path. So don't just go try and do your own thing and think that you know what's going on, because chances are you don't know what's going on. Once you've been mentored for a few months or 3 months or 6 months, you're gonna know exactly what's going on. But right now you don't, there's nobody in this room that really knows what's going on. So I don't even know what's going on half the time. That's why I call Rena. And then there's like, I don't know, let me call and find out. So we're all learning together for the most part, so don't try to be the Lone Ranger. Just check in with your upline, okay? The third thing you're gonna do is, this is new for all of us, is mentoring. In a perfect world, I would have done my business completely differently. There would have been me, I would have got my 3 girls in, I would have learned this business frontwards and backwards, and I would have trained this till they knew every single thing I had to say to them. They would have known it all. Then, we would have started building their team. And they would start teaching these girls everything they need to know. Then, they're gonna mentor these people. And they're gonna start teaching their people everything they need to know. Now, what has happened is, because I brought so many, I didn't know, I brought so many people on so fast, I'm now trying to mentor almost 40 people at one time. That's not even feasible. I can't even build my business anymore because I'm just mentoring and helping everybody else do their thing. I can't do anything for myself right now. What's gonna happen starting November, this is my team right here. That goes back to what we talked about a little bit ago. I am gonna pour myself into Connie, June, and Mandy. They're gonna know every single thing that I know, and I'm gonna know everything that they don't know yet that they're going to know, okay? They, in turn, are going to mentor their front line. So this is gonna go down. They are gonna pour themselves into their front line, their first 3 people. These people are gonna be mentored and pour themselves into these 3 people. This is another reason why you can't have a breakdown with a shopper on a level. You've got that problem right now, nobody to train you and teach you. So if you get someone in here that's shopping and you're counting on them to build a business, who's gonna teach those 3 people underneath them? You are. And then you get another shopper who's gonna teach those next 3 people? You are. And you're gonna be training all the way to the bottom. So you get 3 builders on here that really want to learn and work a team, and they will train the next line, okay? Now, for now, just because this is what we've got, we have to work with what we have. We've got a plan in place. I'll be mentoring some people down the line. Some people are gonna be cross-mentoring sideways. We got a lot of things going on right now. So in the next week or so, everybody's gonna know who's mentoring you. What that looks like is a weekly check-in, can be in person or on the phone. You can work that out with your mentor. There is a form for you to fill out before you are mentored. You get it to your upline before they mentor you, so they have time to go over it and see what you need help with. They have a form of questions that they're going to ask you and go over every single week. You're gonna do this. So you're gonna check in. So that's what this checking in and mentoring looks like. Now, on that note, don't be late. Don't stand somebody up. Don't call them 10 minutes before you're supposed to call them and say, sorry, I can't do this thing. Because they have built their day around that. Okay? I had somebody last week for a meeting right square in the middle of my day, so I couldn't do anything in the morning, couldn't do anything in the evening. I didn't hear from them until 8:30 at night when they told me they weren't gonna make it. I was not happy. You guys all know me and I can let stuff roll off pretty easily. I'm a pretty easygoing person. Don't waste somebody's time. Okay? If you can't make it short of a death or a car accident, you be sure they know. Okay? So this is what checking in and mentoring looks like. Everybody will have those forms. Be honest. Don't pretend like you're doing something you're not. Don't pretend like you don't have struggles that you do. These people are here to help you build your business. And so we're gonna roll this thing all the way down this line. Do you see how that's gonna take a lot of pressure off? It's gonna be so much easier for me to help 3 people than 40 people. That doesn't mean I'm not available for these 40 people. Anybody down here can call me to my 7th line, anybody beyond my 7th line, someone else's team, okay? Anybody can call me. I'm gonna help you guys.
I just sent a Facebook message.
And look where we are today, right? So, I mean, it's not that I'm not gonna be available. It's not that they're not gonna be available. It's not that you're gonna not be available to these people down here, because the flip side of this is at some point you have to start building up. And we'll talk about that in another meeting. It's just a completely different concept. But for right now, we're gonna roll this thing down and everybody's gonna be doing the same thing. You'll know exactly how to be mentored and you'll know exactly how to mentor. And then everybody's gonna be on the same page and everybody's gonna be helping each other in the same way, okay? Any questions on that?
Where do you get the forms?
I have them and you'll get them next week at our meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Next thing you're gonna do is personal development. Everybody thinks that they're so awesome, they don't need personal development. And I'm here to tell you, much as I love you and how awesome you are is not awesome enough, okay? You need to be doing personal development. Right now, I want you guys to be doing, if I can find, here we go. #1 most awesome book I have probably ever read next to Hole in Our Gospel. This has totally changed everything for me in 48 hours. It is amazing. I have learned so much from this book, it's just flipped everything. I want everybody in this room to be reading this book.
That's the one you sent me
Yes.
about.
If you are not a reader, you can go online to YouTube, the author reads it to you word for word. My daughter's done it, she said it's better online. It's called GoPro, just like Go Professional.
Sorry, I
GoPro.
just realized I didn't respond to that email.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Because I knew you were trying to avoid reading the book. What's your question, Greg?
Oh, I was just saying, your list has killed us again. We went to half price books over the weekend, $1.
Okay, well, YouTube for free, okay? So this is the book you're gonna start with. Everybody can go into the group page and make a note of this. In the group page, at the top in the files, is the reading list for personal development. They are in chronological order in which you should be reading them. First book is called How to Make the First Circle Work. You are the first circle. It was a super interesting book. I read it in a couple hours. It was an amazing book because it really talked about yourself. What kind of person do you want to be that you want people to emulate? I mean, don't be a crap head and then expect your team to be different.
How many
You know?
pages was that?
Hmm?
How many pages
It was about half as big as this one. It wasn't
It's a
real
very
big.
easy read.
Yeah, it was because it's so interesting. You don't even want to sit it down. Same thing with this thing. I have stayed up like
if I am not literally standing, and I walked around reading it as I'm walking too, actually. So if I'm not walking around, I'm reading this book. I mean, this has been amazing. I'll be done with it tonight. So everybody be reading this book. So if you want to do the first circle book first, do that, but do it in a couple days, and then get on this one here. Personal development is important. That is the thing, kind of like the vision board and the success challenge, that every day motivates you and reminds you why you're doing this thing, okay? Next thing we're going to talk about is product knowledge. You cannot, okay, let's don't get hung up. Let me back up. Don't get hung up on knowing everything about oil, because you will never be an oil expert. It doesn't matter if you live to be 300 years old. You will never know everything. So, we have a problem sometimes with people who think they don't know enough to go talk to people. I will tell you, you know more than the average person, okay? Just because you're here, okay? So don't sit around all day reading and watching videos thinking you have to learn so much about oil before you can tell someone else. If you have a story about oil, you know more than the next guy. So you have something to talk about, okay? That doesn't mean you're going to ignore this and never learn about oil. Okay, go watch the videos. There's, in your Getting Started book, your one with the purple flowers on it, lots of resources on there. Lots of videos if you're not a reader, lots of things and ways to find out about oil. Do your product knowledge and know what you're talking about. You're not a doctor, don't make claims, don't diagnose somebody, just help them. Just help them find what they need, okay? Next thing is going to be, you're going to be hosting 1 to 2 classes a week. Now, out of these 6 things here, which one's going to make you money? Number 6. That's right. You can do all of these things all day long and never make a dime. You have to be doing this. If you are not talking to people about oil, you are not booking classes, you are not bringing them to our group classes, you are not making money. Then what happens when you don't make money? It's doTERRA's fault. It's your upline's fault. It's your neighbor's fault. It's your family. It's everybody's fault but yours. It is everybody else's fault. It's network marketing's fault. This thing doesn't work. This is stupid. I don't know why I invested my money. Well, what do you think's going to happen? Do your classes. That's the thrust of this business. Do your classes. All of this makes this so much better, okay? You need all of these things. But at the end of the day, if you are not doing classes, you are not making any money. When you don't get a check and you don't know why you don't get a check, that's why you're not getting a check, okay? The way that you do this, we're going to go back to these 3 front lines because this kind of throws people off. When I started, and I had my first class and I had 14 people there, which was way too many. So that's another conversation for another day. 4 is a good number, okay? If you want to do something big, that's okay, but you let us know so we can have help, okay? Poor Brenna just about killed herself that day. When I had my class, I called everybody up and I said, hey, I'm learning about essential oil. This thing is awesome. I love essential oils. I've had some success with this. I want you guys to come and learn about this. I have somebody coming to teach a class from me. I would love for you to be there and see if it can help you. You do not have to be the oil expert. I was not the oil expert that day. I couldn't even help people sign up, and everybody there signed up but 1. Okay? Poor Rena, that's why I say she worked herself to death. They were there for 7.5 hours.
But I was glad to do it.
It was an exciting day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was awesome. So, do you see how that takes the pressure off me? I don't have to be that crazy person with the friends who know that I don't know anything about oil. So, you go to your friends, and you just started doing this thing a few weeks ago, and you're like, hey, I'm going to teach a class about oil. Come, let me teach you. And they're like, I know you. You don't know anything about oil. So then all of a sudden, you're the nutcase. Okay? So, you don't have to be the nutcase. Bring in the professional. So, you let your upline come and do all your classes. When your front line is filled, you have watched your upline do enough classes. Now you're going to do their classes. And they're going to tell their friends, I got somebody coming in to do a class. Can you come? This is going to be super exciting. What can you learn? Your upline's going to come and teach your classes, and that thing is going to roll on down. Okay? Everybody gets hung up on this class thing. Now, I really want you guys to think about this really, really hard, because just like Connie said, here's what everybody says. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to beg somebody. I don't want to nag somebody. If I went into Penny's and I wanted to buy a pillow top for my mattress, and somebody came over to help me and I said, I would love to have this pillow top. Can you tell me more about it? And they walked away. Would I think that they were rude? Or would I think they were helpful? Like, that's a question. Jump in and answer. What would you guys think about a salesperson that treated you like that? I'm there, I expressed interest in the mattress cover, and nobody wants to help me. So now I'm ticked off, and I'm gonna go to Sears. Now, if they come over and I say, I am really super interested in this mattress top, can you help me? And they help me, do I think they're rude? Do I think they're pushy? Do I think they're trying to sell me something? I hope they're trying to sell me something. I have expressed interest in their product and I want help. So when someone comes to you and they say they want to know about oil and you're like, oh, wait, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to force myself on them. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to nag them. Are you kidding me? What you're being is selfish. Share your oil. They have already told you that they want to know about oil. Share your oil, okay? Get over this, I don't want to be pushy. If you call somebody 10 times and they tell you, I really don't care about oil, and you keep calling them, that's pushy, okay? But if someone has a like on your Facebook comment or you make a post and someone asks a few questions, send them a private message. They're telling you, I want to know more about this thing. I'm checking this out. If they call you and they say, hey, I see you're this oil thing, what can I use for a cough? When you start talking to them about Breathe or whatever, you're not being pushy, you're helping them. If you are too afraid to help people and share oil, you may as well take your oils home, use them for yourself, and call it a day. Okay? You have to share your oil. People want you to, the world wants this, guys. People want this thing. Everybody wants this thing. And if they don't want it now, they're going to want it in 6 months when all their friends are using it. Everybody's going to want it in the end. So this is a key thing. Like, you're just not going to build a business if you're not sharing your oil with people. You have to do this.
My business changed the day, and that was back in March, when I was able to look at a girl, and we were just talking about oils, and I looked at her and I said, so, you ready to get started with this thing? And she looked at me and said, yeah. And I'm like, huh.
What do I do now?
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, let me get the paper.
Yeah.
And she started out with a kit, you know, she's like, didn't question it. She's like, I've always been interested. I'm ready to get going?
And what could have happened? You could have assumed she wasn't interested, even after you talked to her. You could have said, well, you call me. If you decide you want something, you call me. And you walked out and went home and you'll never hear again because someone else is going to help
Exactly, because her interest
and they're going
is
to bring
still
them in.
there. Yeah.
So you've got to share this thing and you got to be enthusiastic about it. And you have to have follow up with customer service. Don't bring somebody in and ignore them. You know, stick with them. But you have to, at the end of the day, share this oil. You have to book classes and you have to let the people know their options. Don't even just, if someone calls you up for Deep Blue, don't just say, and I'm anxious to hear how your thing went, but don't just sell them a tube of Deep Blue. You always say, you know, you can get this for wholesale. Would you like to hear about that first before I sell this to you retail? Maybe they do just want a $40 tube of Deep Blue, and that's it. So, okay, sell it to them. You made $10. Big deal. But maybe they want 2 tubes or 3 tubes, or maybe they want the family physician kit. Maybe they want some other things.
They've got friends that probably want
That's
Deep Blue.
right. So you always give them the option. Don't ever assume that you know what someone else wants, because you do not. You don't know what they want to buy. You don't know what they want to do for a business. You don't know. You have no clue. You just let them tell you. You just lead them and let them tell you. Okay? So this, everybody got this written down? This is how you're going to build your business. So I'm going to say it one more time. If we come back in a month and you're not doing these things, don't tell me, yeah, I want to be mentored. Yeah, I want the 30-day challenge. Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't want to do any of this stuff. Okay? Because you're not going to build a business if you're not doing it.
But you don't have to do those in that order. You can put that as soon as.
Yeah, put this at the top.
Yeah.
This is important, and I don't know what, I mean, you all went to a class or in some way you got brought into this business. Every person here was exposed to the oil in some way and brought into this business. You cannot bring people in if you are not exposing them to the oil. It doesn't matter how many hours a day you watch videos and read your Modern Essentials book. You have to teach people about the oil, or forget it, okay? And that's okay. If you don't want to build a business, that's okay. You can be a sharer, you can be a shopper, you can be whatever. You don't have to be a business builder. Today you can go home and say, you know what, this is too much for me, I don't think I can do this. And you can be a sharer and a shopper. But then just please let me know that's what you want to do. Okay? I mean, that's fine with me. I can help you shop all day long if that's what you want to do. I'm not opposed to that. But I need to know where you're going to be at. So just at least be, you know, fair enough to let your upline know what's happening. And whatever you choose to do, you choose to do. That's, you know, your decision. I can't make it your business. If you're building a business, it's your business. It's not my business. It's my business to train you to build a business. But at the end of the day, it's your business and you're responsible for your own business. Okay? So everybody's got that. We're going to just quickly go through these papers right here, and then we're gonna be just about done. I do want these back, because it's my only tear sheet. All of you have these if you have class in the box. We're struggling with the kits. We're struggling with the LRP. We're struggling with the, which we should have gone over, but we'll just
The
do that another
LRP
day.
is really hard to,
LRP, you're just gonna struggle with it till you're gonna make your first order, and that's just the way that it is. I'm sorry to say that.
until you get your first 200 points back.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
This is, can you and Kathy share, and then these girls can?
Here.
Thank you. See, it started me out at 10%.
Now I have to, here Connie, can I borrow yours? And
It
you guys-
shouldn't have. It should have started you off at 20%.
Oh, you got the oil sharing kit. So you should be at 20%.
And that doesn't show up until, I think.
The next month, but she's made her she's made her order this month.
I can talk on that because my son signed up for a kit and he should have started at 15 and he didn't. They go back and put those points on after 60 days.
Oh, okay.
After you've ordered and stuff.
Okay,
And then
good to
I'll-
know.
Okay, and then they'll change it, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll change
So-
your percentage, they'll change your points that you've
Thank
already
you.
earned.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It took me a long time on chat.
Yeah,
That's, I bet. Been doing that all week.
Well, and we're a society of.
Tell it to me right now, I want it now, I need to know
Yeah,
now. This is really
I didn't
helpful.
understand if he was supposed to start at 15, why it said 10, and I couldn't explain it, so.
Yeah, I'm glad you found out, I'm glad you told us, because we have a lot of people that come in with bigger kits, so they wouldn't know that. If you just go on to choose an enrollment kit, you will see on the left-hand side where it says Wellness Advocate Introductory Packet. That is people who want to spend $35 to come in, that's for shoppers, or people who want to put together their own, I say kit loosely because they're not gonna get a discount, but, I mean, they're gonna get their 25%, but you know, when you buy a family physician kit or an actual kit, you get extra savings. So, family physician kit is on here, home essentials kit. Quickly, let's talk about home essentials kit. Nobody, unless they are broke, should be buying a family physician kit, okay? Just no reason. If they have $125 more at all, they need to go up to the next kit because it's 3 times the oil and a diffuser. And so far, we've not sold a family physician kit since that happened.
I know.
So there's no reason for it to happen.
And because of that fact, Diamond Club. Because did you
You're
know
awesome.
you get 4 points, you get more points?
Yeah, she told me that. It's awesome. So you're gonna be number 1. We're trying to get Renna to number 1 in Diamond Club so she gets $10,000. So we gotta roll, guys. We gotta
Actually,
roll
I-
on this thing.
I'm number 21 right now, so.
She was like almost 40 when we started, huh?
Yeah, 67.
Oh, so see, look at you. We can do it. We're gonna get her $10,000 and she's taking us all to Ruth Chris or something.
And then, cause she's gonna owe you something.
That's, yeah. In the end, I'm probably gonna do something too. Okay, so anyway, so here's your little kits. The $35 is only for people who don't do a kit. If you do a kit, the $35 fee is waived, okay? Then you have your other kits, and it tells you at the bottom, because there was some confusion, and Kathy, this answers your question. Did you have a question, or were you just waving?
No, I'm
Oh,
hot.
you're hot. It is hot in here. You asked about the points, because the old paper that showed the kids told you how many points you got back. If you see underneath in the very bottom in small writing, it tells you how many points they get back in their back office, okay? It doesn't show it in the pictures anymore, but there it is. Same thing with the natural solutions thing. You guys all have this thing, and we'll just go pass this out super, super quick.
So those points, do we have to wait for those points after 60 days, or when they get them?
I think, is it 60 days? Because I thought it was 30, but I don't really know.
Yeah, it all goes in at the same time.
From the time you sign up, 60 days from the time you sign
Okay,
up.
because like, I need to tell people that, because they're expecting.
I'm glad to know that.
Why did they not change?
Yeah, I
This
didn't know
says
that either, so that is
24.50,
good
this
to know.
says 25.50 for the diamond kit. It's supposed to be 24.50, isn't it?
24.50, yeah.
Even on the new wellness agreements, they still have 25.50.
Oh, no, it's 24.50 here.
I know,
So
but
we're gonna
they,
use this one.
we need to get that. But see, they still even have 25.50 over here on the other side.
We'll call them this week and tell them.
I called
I'm sure people have called them. I'm sure they've had a lot of phone calls. Who's talking?
Who said something?
I called them because they changed the price of the every oil kit, but they had told me, or it was getting ready to change, and they told me that it's because the arborvitae,
The
And
Arborvitae.
the cardamom.
yeah, that was part of the reasons that they changed it.
Yeah, because they had those extra oils in it.
Yeah.
So is this the right price or no?
I don't even have the kit I come in.
That-
In the pictures is the right
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
This is
I
not the
don't
right
have it
price.
anymore.
The picture's right price.
Okay, the diamond kit is now $24.50.
Why?
So as you guys know, we're wildly famous for selling all our diamond kits. Let's continue
You are
to do
known-
so.
Across Utah.
Oh, really?
I let them know.
Oh, it's pretty exciting. So this page on here, and we're not even gonna go through this whole brochure today because we've done that on another day and we'll do it again sometime, but not tonight. These are basically your personal use kits. When I am selling kits and bringing someone in, what I always tell them, this is exactly verbatim what I say to them. I cannot spend your money for you. I do not know what your budget looks like. If this is what you can do, we will build a business with the Family Physician Kit. If you are serious about building a business and this is what you can do, we will build your business so much faster, okay? And then I always use the analogy of when I had my bridal shop, and my husband just frankly just told me this, like, I'll be honest with you guys, I did not want to buy this kit. I did not want to spend the money. I'm like, no, let's just get the oil kit, that's better, let's spend $1,500, I don't want to spend $25. And he just reminded me over and over, we need everything, you need everything. I would not have opened my dress shop with 3 bridal gowns, okay? So if this is the only way you can start your oil business, we're gonna do that. But this is how I started my bridal shop.
That's got a family physician kit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the rheumatologist kit.
daughter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty, it has everything. So this, we don't need to talk about it. If you have every single product, we brought a 71-year-old man in with hair care. We have brought someone in with peppermint beadlets. We have brought someone in with allergy pills. You don't have those things if you have the family physician kit, okay? So the more that you have, the more needs in the room that you can address. And the more needs you can address, the better your chances are of bringing someone into the business. Because you can sit and tell them all day long about how great, the arborvitae is, or the allergy pills are, or whatever. But if you don't have it there to hand them, and they can't smell it, sample it, taste it, do something with it, it's just your word against whatever. So luckily, we probably have enough diamond kits in our team right now that somebody's gonna be able to bring a diamond kit to your classes, and we can work through it that way. But this is the thing that I see. I see this in these other teams, I just don't understand it, quite frankly. They think that somebody is doing them a favor if they come in with this family physician kit. So I go to Connie, and I'm talking to Connie, and she wants to do the business. And in my mind, I'm going, oh God, if Connie would just buy this family physician kit, she would be in, and I would make $22. And I'll be so excited. Okay? That's really what we're doing. And we assume that's what they can afford. And we assume they're doing us a favor if that's the way they come in. You know what happens? They go home and right away they find out about this kit. And they're calling you in 3 days and they're saying, for $125 more, I could have had a diffuser and 3 times more oil.
3 times with the oil.
Or they're calling you up and saying, what the heck? $550, I could have all this extra stuff and a box to put my stuff in. Or they really want to build a business and they're going to call you up and they're going to say, you sold me this $150 kit when I could have had this $2,450 kit and I could have had everything and 400 points back and started at 25% off.
And really, a person that's building a business is who would buy that.
Yes. Yes, and
Because-
people who are building a business
Because if
want
you
to
bought
buy
that kit
this.
as a shopper, then there's no way you're gonna keep ordering month after month.
That's not true.
No, that's not true, yeah, because I have this and I'm still shopping like crazy.
I bought that, I bought this kit, went in and bought this kit. I've already gone through the vitamins, everyone loves the shampoo, I've gone through most of the pill bottles in here are almost empty, so I'm gonna have to replace those. Everything is consumable. I'm almost out of the hand soap, which is awesome. The toothpaste, I had to order 2 of those, one for downstairs and one for upstairs. My husband loves it, and I had to buy the packet, so no, they will rebuy.
They will still do an LRP.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I still do
Well,
mine
I
every
can tell
month.
you as a shopper, I would have saved a ton of money over the year that I have purchased.
Oh, yeah,
And I still-
absolutely.
There's still things on there that
Yeah.
I don't own,
Absolutely. Yep,
I know.
that is exactly right.
but I didn't realize that until I was about 2.5 months in.
Yeah, there's a law, that's what happened to me, that's what happened to some other people, so that's what happened to Connie, so that happened to a lot of us, and so now, I'm just telling you, don't make that decision for people, because you don't know what they want.
And as
You
far
have-
as a business, that's a cheap
Yes,
That's
investment.
cheaper
Yes.
than what it's costing a month.
Oh, yeah, I spent more than that every single month keeping my shop open, so heck yeah, that's a deal. Now, this is gonna go back to your 150 PV every month. Be a product of the product, okay? Don't sit and think, oh man, I gotta spend 102 PV this month. You start thinking about, wow, I'd really like to use the shampoo. I'd really like to use the skincare.
Get
I'm gonna
everybody
try
in
the
there.
laundry detergent. I'm gonna use the vitamins. I'm gonna use the toothpaste. I'm gonna use the soap. I'm gonna use the hand soap. And then you've got your 150 like that. Now, you're not spending 150 because you're replacing all that stuff in your house. You're gonna buy that stuff anyway. You're just gonna buy it at Walmart or you're gonna buy it from doTERRA. And you're gonna spend more if you buy from doTERRA. But you're
However, it
buying a much
lasts
better
longer.
product. Yes,
The
it does last
shampoo
longer.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I've used this much of the
I know,
bottle.
yeah, it's crazy.
It'll,
And the
it'll
more
last
you-
me for 2 to 3
I
months.
think that glaze will probably last me 2 or 3 years.
I know.
I mean, that's
I don't
crazy.
even
And I've got
use
3
the-
bottles of it.
Oh, I'll buy
Okay.
one from you.
Okay.
Actually, I
Because
need
you dumped
the-
yours out.
Well, I need the serum stuff I dumped out.
Good.
Okay, well, I only have one of those.
Somebody has a problem keeping the lid on theirs.
Yeah, it's the
Then
con,
her
that
big
that would
husband
be
comes walking
Connie.
to that little tiny bathroom and clink, 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 it goes down the sink.
So, use your stuff, okay? When people come to your house and they see that you have doTERRA cleaner on your sink and they see that you have doTERRA
And they
hand soap in
smell
your
it.
bathroom and you have your skincare set up nicely in a little basket on your bathroom sink. There, you do, I know. Then people know, yeah, she's really using this stuff. Like, she's just not trying to sell me on this stuff. She's using this stuff in her house every day. This
Or
is
you
their
can
lifestyle.
Go and wash your hair and stuff right there.
Yeah.
in their tub.
Yeah, like we did at Autumn's. So, everybody understand that? Like, don't be telling people how great doTERRA is and then be running to Walmart and trying to buy the cheapest thing that you can buy and get by with and then complain because you gotta spend $100 a month to build your business. Build your business on your own stuff. If everybody's just buying their own stuff, you're gonna do 150 PV and that's not gonna be a problem, okay? So, but anyway, that was on a side note. What I really wanted to talk about was this thing right here where it does show the points, because people are getting confused where they don't see what, do you see under there where like on a Diamond Kit it says 400 LRP product or points, credits?
Oh, good, this says the points too.
Right, because everybody's been looking for that. I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people saying, well, the kits don't show how much you get back. They do actually show in this flyer, and this is the one that we're using in this new Natural Solutions. It does show on these pictures what your points are that you get back. Okay, on your other stuff, not so much. Lynn made us an amazing, besides this, and I don't have it with me, but you'll get that next week at the meeting too. An amazing enrollment form. Will you have one? If you've got one, I'll just hold it up.
I think
so.
so.
So we can just kind of take a look at it. Some of you got this last week, but we'll have one for everybody next week. And then we're gonna be rounding it up here.
And everybody has to realize that when you look at that total savings and product credits, 55%, once you get to a year, plus your discount, that's not even counting the shipping.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you're
true.
over
Yeah, you get your
60%,
shipping back too. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
They haven't incorporated that into anything.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So you see this form versus this form? This is great if someone's coming in with a kit, because everything is right there, self-explanatory, but if they are not coming in with a kit, you are not gonna be able to fit in that little square what people want to order. So please go to this so we can read it, all right? This is the exact same thing, but has plenty of room to put in what people are coming in with. It's also great while Ren is still in Diamond Club to take pictures, to send her the pictures so she can get them enrolled, okay? So
What
you'll
does
all.
that mean?
Hmm?
While she's still in Diamond Club?
She's in Diamond Club till the end of November. Do you know the extra 25 points that you got when you came in, and the free grapefruit oil when you came in, and you got a free oil and 25 extra points? Ren is in Diamond Club. It's a promotion to help her train to be Diamond. And so as long as she is in Diamond Club, anybody that comes in and she actually puts them in, it doesn't affect you. If they still go under you, you still get the credit and whatever, it doesn't affect you in any way. But she also gets a credit for them. And then they get an extra 25 points plus a free oil.
Actually, in regards to that, we never got our oil and we did not get the 25 points.
Did you call
Right,
them
because
and tell them?
that was the one.
That was the
One that got
that
messed up.
Spencer had to put in, and they're still, I've sent the emails and everything to Diamond Club for
I
that.
got
Okay.
one, we're having this issue.
So it's gonna be, it will
On
be
the
taken care of.
process.
If I have to go to Nikki and go up there and talk to Spencer myself.
Thank you, Rena.
Another trip to Utah.
Yeah,
Okay, any questions on this stuff here?
but
Okay.
I was gonna tell
Okay,
you that
so
tonight.
if they don't
Should be
choose
on
one
its
of these
way.
pre-packaged kits, then do they have to pay the
They
$35?
pay the 35.
Okay, if they put together their own.
Right.
Okay.
That
And some
35 is,
people just wanna buy a couple of things.
Mhm.
They don't even get to 100 points.
yeah, 100 PV is a qualifying order, which is what counts for all bonuses, all payment, all everything.
And
But
that
some
is
people,
broken down on the other sheet.
right,
Pretty
yeah, so
much
there's room
the-
on this,
If they
and,
just go on your web page and buy a bottle of Deep Blue or something.
right, but then they're not spending 35 and they're not
Right.
coming in, so you're not
Right.
even signing them up, they're just
Right.
retailing. So you're gonna figure out where people are at with this sheet right here. If they're coming in with the kit, you're gonna use this sheet right here. And please check, all the green is what needs to be filled out, please check it thoroughly and be sure you can read it, okay?
When you're at a class and you're enrolling people, are you physically filling out this form?
I'm physically filling this out right on the spot.
And you're not putting them in the computer?
I am, no, I am telling them about Diamond Club, Rena will be there, or
But
Rena
when
will
I'm
have been
there,
in
I
the
go ahead
area.
and I sit
Yeah,
down
if
like
she's
I
there,
did
she
at
does it.
Bloomington.
She's
I
not there.
sat down that night and there was a couple of them, they gave me the sheet and I put it in right then.
Okay.
So we just always tell people, we'll call you back as soon as it's in with your total and your ITC number. Write all of that information on your, is that the right form? Yeah, write all of that information on this exact form, okay, so you have everything in one place.
And then you
Put-
keep that, don't you?
So
See,
what
I
I'm actually,
shredded mine.
well, I white out their credit card, and then what I do is if I have not put them in yet, I put it on the, I have it in a folder. I put them on the left side of the folder. If they're not put in yet, once they've been put in, I move them to the right side of the folder, so that way I can always pick it up and say, well, I gotta get these people in tonight, or, you know, whatever, and I know who's where, instead of having them all over the house trying to figure it out, okay? If they're not coming in with the kit, then please use this form, just because it's gonna be so much easier to read it, okay? It's just gonna be easier for everybody, okay? Do we have any questions on anything? Everybody good? Y'all are so awesome. So smart you are. Look how much you learned tonight. It's amazing. So let's just draw for a couple drawers.